What's up? We are live. I didn't even know we were going to be live today. I didn't think we were going to make it, folks. I have been ill the majority of the day. And I said, how did they get me? How did they get me? Did I get hit with the COVID? Oh, man, they didn't got you, boy. But calm down. Realize it's the change of weather. Start taking some medication. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to take some sinus stuff, but I'm good. And that is mostly sinuses. And that's because it's irregularly hot right now when it shouldn't be. So that's why we were going through what we did. Yeah, it's a lot of situations that's different where it's usually not this colluded. Yeah, we're going to get into this whole debate thing. I just want to make sure people are able to, see what's happening here. Because I'm going live on the new one, and everything's not quite set up here. Yeah, I'm not drinking peroxide, but thank you. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. But I'm not drinking peroxide. But I'm not drinking. Now, this is a StreamYard, so people will be able to get in. We're going to send a link, so people are going to get in there and be able to speak. The election, yes, is very close. And man, did I predict all of this stuff that was going to happen. So, Smokey the Bear. Oh, man. But let's get to why we're here. The NBA, the National Basketball Association. That's right. Now, the National Basketball Association is talking about no more. I'm just sharing the video in case y'all wonder what I'm doing. No more 82 game season. They've been trying to go down this road for a long time, even before COVID. So we're going to go down this road and explain it to the majority and the masses so people would know what's actually transpiring here. And what's actually taking place is the fact that the NBA and the union has been talking. They have 2 target dates that they want to start. Some of the players are saying that it's too much of a turnaround to come back in December and do it before Christmas. For the National Basketball Association, doing this season before Christmas would make them a lot of money. They're looking at the television revenue and the ad revenue, and it's Christmas season. And they've always done really good on Christmas as far as viewership. So going through what they've lost about close to about $1.5 billion. That's a lot of money. So you have a CBA being announced. Jaden Flowers, I told you, I think about a month ago that Biden was going to win Arizona. And I brought it up again one too long ago. And I actually showed you guys on One Crack News. One Crack News predicted all of the stuff that's going on and all of the stuff that's going to actually happen. Just stay tuned. because this election will not be decided now. This election will be decided weeks and probably months from now in a court. Told you guys that. It's going to go to the courts, no matter what the decision was. Now, predicted all of it, bro. Now, the NBA, the National Basketball Association, and don't forget to hit the like button, folks. The good people that's out there, the like button counts. It works. Hit the like button so they can know you like the video so we can start sharing it. You know, they've already done some unremarkable sabotage to my page. I've been dealing with that for the past 2 weeks, going back and forth with them trying to get this out so that people will get their notifications. But hey, we still here. We still working hard. Oh yeah, it's the thing is, it's only gonna multiply because you got a situation where the NBA already had issues. They already were faced with issues, you know? And people don't really understand that. The NBA was facing a lot of issues walking through the door. No, they're going to be looking at more of a 72 game season. They're looking at playing 72. So instead of 82, 72 is going to be like the number. And now, how are you going to stack up records? Now you're destroying the legacy of the game. And they're saying, well, look at back in the days before it was 82 games. You know, teams before they went to 82 games. What about the records back when, you know, they played back with Bill Russell days? That didn't affect it. They still look at Bill Russell and them as great and all of this thing. So I think you're jumping the gun, Cino. You know, this is what the narrative is going to be. And Outlaw, all you guys will get in here in a minute. I just wanted to voice my opinion before we move forward, because this is the narrative of what they're trying to sell you. They're trying to sell you on the notion that you, the general public, is not watching the games or supporting it because of the actual fact it's too many games and it's too distracting. No, they're only changing the numbers because they want, they want to not compete with other networks and shows. And there's a lot of shows that are dueling out the NBA. And what's going to happen is you will lose sponsorship. They'll put you on at any time that they can to fit you in the slot. But when Dancing with the Stars is beating you and The Masked Singer is beating the NBA, that's a problem. Do you know the NBA is sitting over there, Kobe Bryant's last game? 10 million people viewed it in China alone. That's in China alone. Okay. The Golden State Warriors were going for the record, the NBA record, beating the Chicago Bulls record that same night. People had to make a choice where they wanted to be. They chose to watch a team that won 16 games that season because Kobe Bryant, it was his last game. Do you realize how the greatness that was out there on the court and what he did and how he performed that night? He didn't just go out there and score 60. He came back and won the game within the last 2 minutes. That was entertainment. He gave you what you came to see. One last time on his last game, he gave it to you. He delivered what you wanted to see. Storybook ending. Because people, they realize what greatness is about. That's greatness. It's about aesthetically pleasing the people. If the game is, nobody cares what your numbers are. If it's sloppy, the game is not something that's interesting. Nobody want to see one guy go in there and knock a guy to the ground and get a layup. That's not aesthetically pleasing to people. And the people that they're appeasing to, the people who are LeBron fans, they don't watch the game. They watch highlights. And because they watch highlights, that's all they care about. So the focus doesn't go towards the game. It goes towards scenes that happen in the game. And they just play the video games because they play video games more than they watch the NBA. They just know they're stars because you promote it. On ESPN, they see the highlights. They see Harden do a move. They pull up a three. They see Steph Curry. And the difference is people wanted to watch the Warriors games because it was aesthetically pleasing the way they were playing the game of basketball. It's exciting. You see Houston versus Golden State, you had an exciting game to watch. You watch LeBron, he hasn't really been in a lot of exciting games. Even the Warriors games, they weren't exciting. They were blowouts. I mean, they were getting blown out. They were just putting him there because they can get the ratings off LeBron. But realistically, they shouldn't even been there. They weren't even that good, and they were getting blown out. It was embarrassing to watch. So they're saying, oh, he's definitely going to, what's that thing y'all call where they rest and take a rest? What do they call that? Some type of load management. He's definitely going to load management. Oh, yeah, don't forget, man, hit the like button, and you guys could definitely donate to the Cash App, as it says right on the screen down here. I have no idea. I don't control that part of it. All I know is that when people start making changes that doesn't need to be or shouldn't have ever been there in the first place, and you're like, it don't seem right. Something seems off. This is why the NBA had these problems before COVID hit. The numbers weren't always great. They weren't great at all, but they're not like there is now, but it wasn't great. And they were trying to improve the game. And the reason why they couldn't improve the game is because of situations similar to this. They felt it's too many games. People don't start paying attention to the NBA season. And what's happening, and the problem is, they're not marketing the games. Now, the NBA don't like me. They view me as a threat, And once you start viewing people as threats, such as myself and others, they start doing some things that were unconstitutional and definitely trying to sabotage you guys from hearing me speak. I was showing up on the suggested videos list with some of the NBA videos. And as you heard before, if you're on the Patreon, you've heard the actual, what was really going on there. It's like the NBA have a couple of people that they've associated themselves with on YouTube to help promote the NBA. But only thing that's doing is promoting highlights and scenes. And they started to get smart and said, okay, we got too many guys out here showing too many clips of the games. Like if you show me, like I don't know the creator, but there's a person that shows you like every basket James Harden scores in a game. They say James Harden scores 55 tonight. And then they show you him scoring all of James Harden's shots, scoring 50 points. You would just say, man, James Harden had a heck of a game, right? That's what everybody would say. James Harden had one heck of a game. So if you say that James Harden had a heck of a game and you're just looking at highlights, you don't know how that took place. You don't know why it took place. You don't know anything about what transpired. Obviously, Mr. Podcast Guy didn't understand what I was saying. I said I'm not watching LeBron James games anymore unless he plays the Brooklyn Nets or the Golden State Warriors. I mean, not the Golden State Warriors, the Clippers. I might not even watch the Golden State Warriors versus the Lakers. I might not even watch that game. I might. It all depends on what goes on. But I might watch that. It all depends. Why come they never said that with Jordan? They never really said that with Kobe, even though Kobe had nobody. And they got it done, and they did it the right way. As you saw my Instagram post, I put that last speech of Kobe Bryant as a Los Angeles Laker in that jersey uniform. He gave his last speech on the court and he talked about winning championships and doing it the right way. They can't get Chris Paul over there. And the only way they could get Chris Paul over there is a 3-team deal. And it still would be hard to pull it off because the contract is so great. Do the Lakers really want to pay a super max to Anthony Davis? LeBron is still getting paid his money, about 30 some million or 20 some million. And then you bring in Chris Paul, who's getting 36 and 38 million for 2 seasons. And that's just going to make your team better? How? You just won this pandemic championship with scraps. Well, here's the thing. They want to reward Chris Paul with an NBA championship. The NBA, because he was a good old boy and stayed in OKC and did what he did. But I think he should stay in OKC. Really, it's better fit for him. They're not going to win a championship with him, and he was kind of in their way at times. But they're ready. That team was more mature than what they thought. And I think he kind of laid down that last game because the league probably wanted him to. But he wants to actually play in the NBA finals. Now what the NBA is planning on doing is reducing it to about 72 games and actually doing no fans again. But here's where the problems are going to kick in. The problems that kick in is travel. Are you going to do all these teams only in certain locations? Or are you going to have like selected fans come in? You're going to be opening a door as long as they're traveling on planes, even if it's private planes and flights. You're still got to go through the airport. You're still opening the door for, COVID. Chances of people being infected. Yeah, see, I don't think they're gonna send James Harden anywhere. I just really don't. Because I mean, he's hoping James get a ring in Houston. It's just that if you're Houston, how does getting Ben Simmons make your team better? You got Russell Westbrook, okay? And when you got Russell Westbrook on your team, why do you need to go to an extreme where you get someone else who basically shouldn't even be there, to be honest? You got two guys that's going to be in the same way. So Russell Westbrook, what are you going to be, the two guard? And you got another guy, Ben Simmons, that's going to be scared to shoot and want to give him the ball, and they're going to lock in on a two guard who's shooting like 30%. It's not a good ideal situation. The NFL has always been better than the NBA. And because they promote team more than individuals. They promote individuals, but they normally promote quarterbacks or players that stand out on the team. But they just promote, they promote more team logo because they know players get hurt. One play, you're out, gone. Now they didn't spend all their marketing dollars on you, and now you're gone. So now they got to promote within the team. You got to promote the logo because players come and go. And that's why the Lakers are successful. This is why the Celtics are successful because they promote the logo. No matter who comes in the door, you're not bigger than the logo. So the Celtic logo means something. The Lakers logo means something. Even the Knicks logo means something. The Chicago Bulls, nobody cared about the Bulls until Jordan, they got them 6 championships. And because they got those 6, the way they got it, that's it. No, they're looking at a 72 game season with no fans. They're in the talks right now with the unions and everything. They're really trying to push for that. They're really shooting for that right now. So I don't think it is never, even when this is over, the NBA is not going back to 82 games. And they want to do another playoff series with the 8th seed and the 9th seed. Have like a 14 playoff at the end, like they did at the end of this thing, the pandemic, to see who plays for the last spot. And have like a little tournament to see who gets into the last spot of the playoffs. The world will not go back to some sort of normal until about at least 2022. All next year, you're going to see the fallout of all of this that's going on right now. But how will this affect records? With less games now, how does LeBron try to catch Kareem? He's going to have to keep playing till he's 85. You see what I'm saying? Now you're going to be comparing stats because a lot of people love to compare stats instead of actual gameplay. But the NBA is different. The NBA has always been about theater and promoting, and that's fine. I have no problem with the marketing campaigns. Here's the problem I have with the National Basketball Association. See, they want me to speak like I'm ignorant. And if I spoke real ignorant, be like, man, I hate them because they just dumb, man, and they cheat, man. And no, I give you reason, and I give you clear, conscious reason as to why these things are transpiring. And it's from a business standpoint. And they took the wrong avenue to business. They milked the cow too long. What David Stern did with Michael Jordan is the way they should have done LeBron James. Michael Jordan came back to the Washington Wizards. The NBA was not going to let Michael Jordan come back. They had no choice because he was part owner. He sold the rights to his team and came back with Washington. David Stern was 100% against it because he don't want people going back to the Michael Jordan era again. They just had to fight to get out of that. In 98, 94, when he retired, they weren't prepared. It was a sudden retirement, and all of a sudden the NBA is like, we have nothing. Like, what are we going to do? They were giving the league to Grant Hill. Grant Hill came in and gave him the keys. Like, okay, the NBA is yours. You the guy, Grant Hill. Grant Hill was going to be the new face. The NBA put marketing dollars behind him. He was on GQ magazine. Can Grant Hill save the NBA? He was the guy, because if anybody, it was going to be him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This has nothing to do with COVID. They were going to do this move anyway. This move was coming. Why? Because the ratings were already going down. The ratings was already low, and they didn't have anything in place, and people were tired of seeing LeBron. And when he went to the Lakers, he thought that would increase the viewership. No, it doesn't, because the Lakers come on at a later time, and you're on the East Coast, you're in bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So it's 7 o'clock in LA, it's 9 o'clock in New York. So by the time the game kicks off on the West Coast, they were starting the games at, like, on the West Coast game starting at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock West Coast time. They were starting the games at 8:30. That's 10:30 in New York. They going to bed. They ain't staying up to see no LeBron. So they listened to my idea with saying you have no choice but to bring the West Coast games earlier. And they listened. They listened because they're actually doing it. Terry, listen, this election is going, forget tonight. None of this is going to matter. This is going to be determined in a court of law, Supreme Court. I told people this months ago. This was going to be that plan. This was Trump's plan all along. No matter what's going on, it's going to be a conspiracy theory. They already prepared for it. Did I vote for Biden? I didn't vote for nobody. I told y'all that. I'm out. I don't like him. I don't like Trump. I ain't voting for them. Now, and they're going to win Illinois anyway. Illinois is never going to be red. Believe me. So what was my vote going to be? Now, now they can quit harassing me. No, the reason why they were doing this and they're cutting games down and trying to reduce things lower is because they're playing way too many games that they're not really making money on. And then you have teams that are really going to suffer with no fans. The Atlanta Hawks, okay, the New York Knicks, they're going to kind of take a hit. The Chicago Bulls are going to take a hit. Chicago Bulls are going to take a hit, but teams like the Sacramento Kings, who were borderline folding, that team's going to take a hit. Timberwolves would take a hit. Atlanta, those small market teams, they don't get on television as much. Like you saw a lot of games with Trae Young because Trae Young was playing well. That's why they moved them on national television. But other than that, they don't get a lot of that revenue from television. So the majority of their money come from people actually buying merchandise and coming to the games. Now, Detroit Pistons also. CP3 didn't save Oklahoma. Oklahoma actually didn't need him. And what the season told you is that they didn't need him. But what he did was give them a balance. He played well. CP3 played well. And it's mainly because the season was short. So it actually helped players like him who's injury prone. You see, it helped Rondo. Rondo was hurt the majority of the season. He came back after the 4 months. He was back healthy again. OKC, they definitely were gonna do what they're gonna do. Oklahoma City, their attendance is always gonna sell out, and that's another team that's gonna suffer as well, because they depend strongly on their fan support. Because there's nothing in Oklahoma City, and for them to get an NBA championship, because the people wanted a team so bad, they were filling up the stadiums. And what did that is Hurricane Katrina, the New Orleans. Well, I won't at the time. I don't know what they were called, but they had the Hornets at the time playing there, right? So they were playing over their games over there. They're now the Pelicans, but they were playing in Oklahoma City because the dome and everything was cracked and all that stuff. So they couldn't play in New Orleans, of course. So they played over in Oklahoma City. And the NBA saw the numbers and said, oh my gosh, we got to get a team over there. They were ready. They had that stadium packed. And they's like, well, we got to make sure this isn't because, people coming over because of the Hurricane Katrina and supporting them. They were like, no, this is locals. The locals are here. And they don't even have a team. But they here every day buying tickets and gear and merchandise. They wanted an NBA team. And that's how Oklahoma City ended up getting the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, Supersonics. Supersonics came over to OKC. They moved them over there quick. A lot of things, sometimes it's not perfect. I'm not saying the NBA needs to be perfect at all. What I'm saying is people got to understand that there's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a real process that transpires. And you got to like kind of trust the system. Everybody's trying to speed track their way through the system and saying, this is where we should take off. When you try to speed track the system, you're only setting yourself up for failure. And don't forget to hit the like button, good people. I know the new guys who just got here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, all those good things. Absolutely. Well, if you look at how everybody else did it and how everybody else got their, situation put together, you just gotta say, man, am I doing it the right way? Are we doing it the right way? Is this the right movement? What's happening here? You got to ask these questions because this will all be over one day. And where are you going to be? You tie yourself to LeBron James, where are you going to be? Now, I'm not saying they need to market Kawhi Leonard more. Kawhi Leonard personality is very difficult to market. No, You see, and this is the problem. People who play in these video games, you guys are more of the problem because you guys think this is a video game. People play NBA 2K and they'll just start moving players all over the place, putting them all on one team. And yeah, that's fun. Now, guess what? I got Giannis playing with me on the Warriors. I'll be like, dude, I can't play a game like that. I don't even play Madden like that. They do that on Madden. It's an all Madden team. Look, I got this guy on my team. I don't play the game like that. If they're not on the team, I don't want them on the team. You know, that's just me. If they ain't on the team, I don't want a team with LeBron, Kawhi, and all them. That's called an all-star game. I don't want to play with an all-star game versus another all-star game. I want to strategize, take advantages of what's out there on the court, run plays. You know, I'm trying to take this like a real game. I can't play it like that. And I was like, it's no pride in it no more. And this is the mentality they try to make and take to the real game. Fans I think the Miami Heat, they get Giannis. Now they got Giannis, Jimmy Butler, and all them. We ready to go. It's like, it's stupid. Takes away from what the game is about. Exactly. What happened to competition and wanting to compete. If you take and eliminate the process, and, you know, LeBron is responsible for that, but the NBA allowed it because they make money off of it. But when Jordan came back, they gave Jordan basically the hardest officiating, and that's when Jordan got my respect. He wanted to play. That's all. He was not ready to retire. He wanted to still compete. And he competed. Jordan didn't come back and say, all right, I'm here. Let me see who we could trade and get all on my team. Do you know somebody actually tried to, because I guess they got it from Nick Wright or somebody. Oh, God. Michael Jordan never picked his own coach. He picked Doug Collins when he went to Washington. It still counts. If you're going to say Michael Jordan at 40 years old picking a coach to go out with is the same, then God bless you. What's up, Sean?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hanging in there. A lot of people are not happy about this because they're going to think you got a lot of teams that shouldn't be there if they go to a 72-game season versus an 82 games. Those 10 games could really make a difference. And what you think about it?
Did they just make this like news today? Because I'm just barely hearing it right now.
Yeah, this is in discussion right now. They're discussing a 72-game season, but the thing is they're looking at not going back to 82 no matter what. So they're thinking that after next season, all the games are going to start like near Christmas. You know, like start around Christmas and then end at the same time. But you cut out, you know, losing all the revenue that they do going up against like the NFL. In other words, they scared of the NFL. So this is all it means because the NFL destroys them. And they know it. They got to run from the NFL. And opening the season in November is too much NFL in there. And the NFL is sucking up all that viewership. And they going back to the last time they had the lockout season, and they started in Christmas. Around that time the season started, they had tremendous numbers. They didn't get crushed as much by the by the NFL, because NFL is over about like in January. So the season's over, you know, and the 16, 17 weeks of NFL is up. And this is why people in the NFL win so much. You have about 5-6 months before you see it again. So when it's over, you're like, man, I got to go half a year before you see the NFL again. That's why people thirst for it. When the season is over, and I'm like, think about it. Super Bowl is in January. NFL season don't start again till like September, August. Around then, the games don't kick off to about a late October, November. So you have the longest off season for a player in history. You know, no sport has an off season like that. So
That's true.
you're thinking about, man, people can't wait to see football come back. So
Mm-hmm.
when football come back, you ready to go because you done waited so long just for it to get back.
See,
That's why they got chilling off of it. And when it hits, it takes off.
the thing with football is they let everybody get a chance, you know, like everyone has a face, even if like Tua, you know,
Yeah.
he didn't have a I mean, people are speculating on his offense, but I mean, he was decent, but to the NFL will make a face for him. You know, the NBA, like there's so many players in the NBA and it's like they promote one person, you know.
And that's because, and that's what I'm saying. This is where the marketing fails. You put, like, they used to market Michael Jordan, but they were also market Michael Jordan, and this is when it was done correctly. And when they did Jordan, people were like, well, they did Jordan the same way. No, they didn't. They had Michael Jordan as the protagonist, and everybody around him was the antagonist. So Jordan is the hero in the story, and
Mm.
everybody trying to take down the good guy, Michael Jordan. The Knicks, Patrick Ewing, and those evil Knicks. You know, the Detroit Pistons and the evil Isaiah Thomas. So people, they were promoted. So you knew them. Charles Barkley. You knew
Yeah,
that every star was promoted and marketed well. So even if
yeah,
they played other teams, you wanted to see the Suns, Phoenix, Charles Barkley, and them play against the Knicks, Indiana. People wanted to see those games. They were used to the characters, the people that was in the this saga, the miniseries. It was very well structured. Now you
right,
have some talented players that you could market, but you don't. And it's like, oh
exactly.
well, that's because it's different now. There was no internet. Now with internet, everybody's everywhere. You can't pay attention. Nah. That's
Right. And
nonsense.
even with like the whole bubble, I mean, it was entertainment, you know, but at the end of the day, people knew what the end of the result was going to be, you know, for the
Right.
most part.
We were just rooting that hopefully it didn't go that way, but we were saying the NBA has lost so much money. They have no choice. Like Major League Baseball, they had to put the Dodgers in there. They've been trying to put them there and win it forever. They had no choice. When you got something where your money's on the line, you got to get your heavy hitters and put them put them in the middle of the whole everything. You got to put them in the look. I got this is my biggest earner. I can't take a risk of them being knocked off. Push them all the way to the finals. I can't take a
Right.
risk of them playing the Clippers. I can't do anything. They got to go now because
Mm.
in the reality, this season you have the biggest possibility of seeing the Lakers Clippers battle. But they writing off everybody's sleeping on Golden State. Golden
Thank
State
you.
is going to be in the mix. They will definitely be in the mix. And if
Yeah.
anybody think they're not, they are slowly, sorely mistaken.
And
Because
the yeah.
injuries is the only reason that they're out of it right now. When they come
Yeah.
back full strength, then you could say, okay, we beat the Warriors. Nobody's beaten the Warriors yet. Okay?
And
I'm like, man, beat the Warriors.
the thing is with when they broke that Bulls record, everyone was saying, well, they didn't win a ring. Well, it's like it's still a record, you know.
Yeah, it's still
It's
a
like
record. And I had to point that out to people. It's like they was like, yeah, but they didn't win a ring. I'm like, they didn't win a championship that year, but they have the record. The record is not saying you got to have a championship. The record says most wins in a regular season. It does
right.
not say the Chicago Bulls. It says the Golden State Warriors. So they won the record.
And even with Milwaukee, man, Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, if they were on a roll, you know, before this whole COVID thing
Yeah,
happened, but they were, you know, they could have been like it could have been good for them. You know, Greek Freak is not going anywhere. You know, as people be saying he's going to Golden State. I don't want him to go to Golden State. You
I
know,
don't
what
either.
what Golden State just needs is, you know, I think they got a good solid, you know, foundation in a sense. They just have to, you know, find out. They just need to find their chemistry. They just need to go back to their roots of when they were winning. You know.
And that's all. That's really what it's all about. I think you have players that's not used to playing in a system. They used to going ISO 101, like when Russ got there and they were trying to teach him. You know, it was basically trying to teach somebody how to play, and D Russ could only be D Russ and play the way he played, and they had to move.
Yeah.
I was like, they're gonna have to move him because defense, he don't play defense.
Nah, he's great offensively. It's just
he's great offensively when there's like no Steph Curry in there. He could just come in, go ISO and shoot. But I mean, you got 50, and the guy you going against got 50. So it's like
I think D'Lo was his spot was perfect for the Lakers, but it was like a hard situation at the time. But I felt like he was just rising it when he was the Laker. But we'll see how how he goes with the Timberwolves and Karl Anthony Towns and things like that. Karl Anthony Towns is pretty decent. He just needs to get more aggressive,
I know, but here's the thing: they're actually looking on moving Towns, and for somebody else because he wants to go. And when you want to leave, it's like, hey, it is what it is.
You're right. It's just like, all right.
Right. He want to get out of there. He finally got rid of the girl that Jimmy had. So he finally I'm like, dog, you don't buy a dog with a chick unless you I'm like, what happened to the dog? I'm like, what happened with the dog, man? Did you take the dog back to the thing?
What'd you think of did you watch football?
Yeah.
What did you think of the games that were on? I caught a little bit of them, but not too much.
Which game you talking about? Like Michigan State or
Tampa Bay? Oh, yesterday Tampa Bay Giants.
Oh yeah, the Tampa and the Giants. Monday Night Football, man, is crazy. It's something about playing on Monday night. The Giants' offensive line looked like they was unstoppable. I'm like, what? They getting movement against the number one run defense in the NFL? I was just stunned. And I'm a Brady fan, so I'm sitting there in shock. Brady was missing a lot of throws. The ball was just sailing. They were like missing, it was a mess.
Right.
So when I was watching, I was like, man, we're not going to blow this game. It's like some on Monday night, like the Bears game. Bears had no business winning that game. And I was like, I'm a Bear fan. I'm like, I root for the Bears. And then if Tom Brady, when they not playing Tom Brady.
Oh, man.
Hey, what's up? Jamaica.
What's up?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, hey, man. What the hell? They not going to play 82 games? Oh, man.
No, 82 games look like that's a thing of the past, man. They're looking at it from a financial standpoint, and this is what they call circling the wagons. They're going about a circle the wagons type of way. And when they do that, they got to start we got to trim the fat. We can't take risks on this. We losing money on that. We got to start just getting our money makers out here because we lost way too much last year, and this year is looking like we're not going to make any revenue with fans. They're looking at no fans in the stadium. But here it is. If you're going to be doing traveling and teams got to travel now, this has an effect on games. When a team got to get up, they got to travel, they got to move around. You're going to have certain players that's going to get it, certain players that's not, and somebody ain't going to be active for a game. You're going to have a lot of, you opening the door for a lot of, people getting sick. So
see, the thing is, the NFL they successful at what they doing.
Yeah, all of this is to avoid the NFL. The whole move is about. They don't want to play no games going against the NFL. This is the whole reason for it.
NFL kicking their ass for ratings.
They always gonna do it because the NFL is just a bigger sport and it's about team and logo. And that fans, they have more fan support. See, fans go out and buy the logo. They're going to buy a Dallas jersey. They don't care who's number 82, 83, 84. They had so many people wear them jerseys, they still going to buy them. They Cowboy fans. You see what I'm saying? So Like you'll have somebody be like, "Yo, you like Golden State?" And they be like, "Yeah, I'm a Steph Curry fan." And so it goes that way. With the NBA towards the NFL. Like people are like, "Hey, they like Tom Brady, but they roll with the Bucks." The more people in the hometowns are more connected to the team and the logos. Players gonna come and go. And plus it's limited games. You got like 16, 17 weeks of football, and then it's gone for like 6 months. So you got 6, 7 months. So you missing it. You want to see it back. So when it comes in heavy. And that's what I'm saying. They don't play a series. They play one game in the NFL. You play one game. So anything, you can have a bad game and a team that you'll probably beat 99 times out of 100, they beat you the one time, and that's all it takes. So that one game means something, and that's Super Bowl.
Hey, whatever happened to Devin Hester?
Oh, Devin Hester, I think he's on somebody's team, or did he? Wasn't he on somebody's team last year?
That was my guy, man.
He went to the Jets, I think, at one point. But yeah, then he started. I think he got hurt or something, or I think he probably didn't make the final cut.
That was my guy, man. He was so.
Yeah, he retired. Somebody said.
Hey, I think the reason why they don't want to do 82 games is because they know LeBron James, he can't play no full season. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why they won in that damn pandemic is because they wasn't really able to play a full season. If they was able to play a full season, the Lakers wouldn't have won that championship, and they know.
I agree with you.
Right.
The full season is difficult because you got to travel. Plus, you look at the wear and tear on the players. Like, I wouldn't have seen Rondo being healthy. I wouldn't have seen any of this, right? Like all these players, LeBron having energy, period. They had no drug testing doing while they was in the bubble. So who knows what type of products was used. So it was, it was a whole bunch of things that transpired that you can scratch your head about. And we knew what it was about because the players didn't. You had half of the players that didn't want to go there. They didn't want to play in the bubble. They didn't want to go. Period. They was ready for the NBA to call it. So players was out of shape. They went 4 months without playing. It definitely ruined the Bucks. They were not the same.
They got the Lakers so overrated on 2K. It's crazy. I can't stand playing them.
I know better to even play because players complain about ratings. LeBron one year got mad about his ratings. He was like, "Oh no, the ratings could go up," and they went and changed his rating. I'm like, "Are you kidding?"
Man, look. Side note: anyone that plays that game is that company. I don't know, man. It's very greedy company. You get ripped off, man. But people still buy it, but at the same time, that game is broken. That game is broken. But that was just a little sidebar.
Yeah, it's like how can LeBron have a higher number than Murray? That don't even make sense.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Big
they said they did Murray dirty on the numbers. That's because he's not a superstar yet. He don't have that kind of pull. LeBron got that kind of pull.
Yeah, man.
He said
there needs to be more basketball games out in the world because people that
one though that it used to be
NBA Live.
Yeah, NBA Live. I think they coming back.
They should. Because I remember when they used to have like NBA Inside Drive on like on the old systems and things. They used to have a whole bunch of selections. Now it's like, you get one selection and you play sports games. So I play Madden, so
Yeah, that's me to Madden.
Madden's more realistic. At least I can get a fair game.
Right. What's up?
Yo, Cino, what's up, my dude?
What's up?
Yeah, I always watch you, bro. This is my first time getting on your show.
Okay.
Yo, you talk about LeBron clown?
Oh man.
You said what?
LeBron clown. LeBron James.
Yeah,
Y'all
what
talking
about
about?
him?
Yeah, like he's like the worst superstar ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that nigga sucks.
Absolutely.
Yo, that nigga. Oh, I could say nigga on your show, but that dude, he dribbled with one. Yo, all my homeboys, we be dissing him. Yo, he dribbled with one hand, then he walked, then he tackled you. That's to do a
He
layup.
dribbled with two left hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He dribble with his knuckles, man. Knuckle
He got
dribble.
baby hands.
Yeah, I can't believe they be pushing him, yo. I
Well,
can't believe
you
that.
gotta look at it. They've been pushing him since high school. They were
Yeah,
marketing.
Cino. I remember when I came home from work one day. This is back in the day. Yo, they showing the high school games on ESPN. I'm like,
Yep.
what? I'm like, yo.
Yeah, they showed the
Yo.
high school games on there because they were already building them up. That's how he got a Hummer. Any other player driving a Hummer at 18 years old,
Yeah.
17 driving a Hummer.
Yep.
And
Y'all
they,
You know
remember?
he get money. Cino. You know he had money under the table. Come on, man.
oh, of course,
Y'all-
they did.
Yeah.
Coming into a deal, he had $100 million Nike deal on the table
Yeah.
coming through the door. So you knew they was
Yo.
good. That's why the bank gave his mom the loan. So
Yeah.
the bank was secure, like he's going to the NBA, he's going to be a superstar, and she ain't had no credit. I mean, she don't like sex, and you gonna give her a dog on
Yeah, facts, Cino.
Y'all remember when LeBron got dunked on by that kid and they took it down?
Of course.
Oh yeah, when they was in the gym. Yeah, they took it off online. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The internet. That
It
show.
was on the. It was on there like for one day. They took it off. Yeah,
They can't have this. We can't have this.
Yeah,
And that was the height of the Kobe versus LeBron. They was having that who's the best, like who would win in a one-on-one. And Kobe had his camp, man. They kept bringing it up. He was like, they asked Kobe, he was like, me, of course.
Right.
Yo, remember that All-Star game? When Kobe blocked his shot, he stole the ball from him.
Man, I'm so tired of the Bron is better than Kobe. Had a mentality
Yo,
that
I can't believe they
Bron
even
will
compare
never have.
that. Like, that don't make
Like,
no
where's the
sense.
respect? Like, this guy rest his soul.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
things,
Yeah.
But it's like the amount of disrespect that people say on this guy's name. No, if he was here, they wouldn't be saying it.
I mean,
They started disrespecting.
They were saying it when Kobe was here. Kobe doesn't care. He really didn't. Once he was tired, he was done. He didn't care about basketball no more. Like, really, he was done.
Yeah, he was going to do business
Right.
moves.
They put him. He was supposed to have what's his name spot. It was like, come on, Kobe, you be the general manager. Magic gonna be the president. You gonna be the GM.
Yeah.
He was like, no, man, give it to Rob. Let Rob run it, and he'll make suggestions. They'll ask Kobe for advice. Rob do it, and he'll give him some advice on what to do. Like, he met LeBron when LeBron first got there. He told him, hey, you family now. Because you understand.
Yeah, but yo, Cino, let me ask you. I'm gonna let you finish, and I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay, yeah, he said you family now. If you need anything, any advice, hit me up. It's like, didn't he hit you yet? He's like, nah, he good. He don't need me.
All right, you already answered my question.
Right.
Cause LeBron wasn't fucking with Kobe. I mean, messing with Kobe. Yeah, he wasn't messing with. Yeah. Cause
that's the thing. He was jealous of Kobe. I mean,
he was jealous.
That was his whole thing. He was resentful. Kobe.
Bron was jealous of Curry.
Yeah, Curry. Yo, Cino. Yo, you notice they never say that Curry is 3-1 against LeBron in the finals. They never say that. Like, he 3-1. Like, and he supposed to be the GOAT? Man, get out of here, bro. Like, Curry is 3-1 against you.
Yeah, but see that they're gonna always never give Steph Curry his credit.
He light skinned with hazel eyes.
No, I don't like Steph Curry. I'm not saying that LeBron. They compare him to Jordan. Jordan is not 1-3. Isaiah beat him. Only Isaiah is 3-1 against
He is the
against
worst player ever to be considered in that.
yes.
You know,
That's why I always listen to you. Yo, I'll be like, yo,
right,
this nigga Cito crazy.
I mean, if LeBron, I wish LeBron was as great as they say he is. That would make up for a lot of this nonsense that takes place. And I'm like, why do they keep doing this? It's like, why are you telling us that this guy is something that he isn't? So I'm like, my thing is, when they said Kobe, I'm like, yeah, well, Kobe's a monster.
Yo, Cino, the funny part is that the fans believe it. Like, he'll just do layups. He can't jump shoot.
No,
like, he don't do nothing else.
He has no
do layups.
He can't pose. He has no hooks, no nothing. He's playing in a game where there's no power forwards. He's playing, everybody's shooting threes. He can't battle nobody for the rebound. He don't do that. He only get uncontested rebounds. I'm like, they don't understand. I'm like, Jordan played in an era where they were big men. He had to get rebounds over centers and power forwards, and some of the best rebounders in the history of basketball. I'm like, Charles Oakley, Moses Malone, Dennis Rodman. You got to go against them, Barkley. These dudes were monsters on the boards. What in the world are you talking about? LeBron got a triple-double. You got Trae Young getting triple-doubles. So
I know, right? Everybody get a triple-double.
Trae Young,
see, that's what I'm saying. This is what's fact over stats. And this is where people just look at stats and they don't realize what they're talking about. I'm like, he got 10 uncontested rebounds. Somebody shooting a three, and the only person down there is him to get the rebounds. I'm like, the other team shot a three. Ain't nobody even in the paint. It's ridiculous.
Right, like a lot of people don't even know, like
the way the game.
You said the way the game is?
Yeah, the way the game is going right now is like the way next season. I'm like, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna be watch. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch a lot of NBA basketball next season.
I'm just not watching him. You know, I'm gonna watch the games if they're good because it's a lot of good basketball being played. They just don't promote it, and then they wondering why the people don't want to watch it because I'm like, they're used to you draining them with this guy that's not that good. It's time to start taking away, all the fame and the glory. You got to start finding that next guy, and they've been Steph Curry is that guy. Really, Steph is hurt. And they really been trying to like put LeBron out the pastures in a respectful way, but they gave him too much power. And when you give somebody who has a very shallow skin like he do that much power, corruption comes along with it. And
I remember when excuse me, I remember when the NBA was like really fun to watch back then. I remember like when Wade was on Miami and Dallas had Nowitzki, and then it was I just remember it was just fun to watch. Like when Wade dunked on Vergel, like you didn't even have to be there to like feel that energy because it was just like electric. It was like, wow, man, like you don't see that no more.
And to follow up on what you just said, it was electric. And that's why when I tell people championships mean something, like they're not the same. If somebody got one ring and that person got one ring, it don't mean the same. Some championships have more value than another championship. So you gotta follow and you gotta look at what went down. The Dallas Mavericks 2011 championship, that championship they won is bigger than any championship LeBron has ever won. Every single one. That championship was bigger than all of them. And the reason it was bigger than all of them is because that team beat Kevin Durant and OKC. They beat the Los Angeles Lakers. Right. They beat the Lakers, who was the back-to-back world champions, going for a three-peat. They swept them. They went to the NBA Finals and ended up beating the Miami Heat.
Was back then? Was David Stern? Was he still like the head of the NBA, or was that Adam Silver? Like
commissioner then. David Stern.
That's why the NBA then was like really fun to watch because like the Knicks were good. They had Jason Kidd. I remember watching like it didn't even have to be a championship game. It was just like a regular Sunday, and like it would come on ABC, and you would just watch like Knicks versus some Pacers or something. With like everybody had a star, and it was like the NBA needs to go back to whatever they did, but I don't know if they ever will. But it was just a fun time to watch games. Like I remember when Kobe hit that shot on the Suns, and he tugged his jersey to the side, like I was just like, man.
I mean, it was a great time to be with the league, and they promoted it the right way. But see, David Stern, he was there since '92 basketball, and that's his problem. He's good with marketing and all the stuff, management and promotion and all of these things. That was his field. Now that he's
player friendly,
doesn't understand the game. David Stern, he knew about basketball. He knew plays. He knew everything. So when it came down to the actual game itself, he knew better than to disrespect the game.
Right.
It's like, look, I'm not going to disrespect the game. Now, we can do this and that, but we ain't going to disrespect the game.
Right. Like now the NBA is literally basing their game off a video game. It's like
the whole world and everybody know and put them on a secret. And since we on this StreamYard, normally I would have put this on my Patreon, my Carcino for Life Patreon, but y'all finna get this here right now live. The NBA.
We appreciate that. Everybody's asleep right now, so
yeah,
appreciate it.
Everybody's asleep right now, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, the NBA is responsible for the decision. When LeBron went to Miami, all of that was all the NBA. LeBron James did not set that up himself. That whole promotion, the whole moving him to Miami, the NBA was responsible for all of it.
Wow.
But LeBron took all the blame for the whole sit down and everything else. Nike, they said that was between Nike, ESPN, and LeBron. No. They were behind the actual move because they wanted to get LeBron to the championships and get him in the final in the showdown with Kobe Bryant. Now, to get him there, he didn't have the players. He didn't have the horses to get him over the top. So in order to do that, they decided, okay, let's try to get you some players. And LeBron was like, can we do it in Cleveland? Nobody's going to come to Cleveland. The NBA don't even like going to Cleveland. So they were like, no, they don't want to come to Cleveland. And, Wade and them told them they didn't want to come to Cleveland. So he's like, we can make this work in Miami. The NBA helped facilitate it. Anything that they wanted with additional players, making other teams get players for LeBron to help them out, the NBA, they all was in. They never got any resistance. Even the idiotic trades they made. LeBron was able to trade for a guy who had back surgery. And they traded him to another team so that they can. That's how they got Kyle Korver on the Cavs. They traded him for Dunleavy, who back was all tore up from back injuries, and he couldn't even move. He wasn't even playing. I'm like, dude, who in the world was playing? Atlanta was winning. I'm like, Atlanta had a winning record, and they battled, and they was only like 3-4 games behind the Cavs. So I'm like, why would you trade one of your best players? And they were rolling.
Trying to pull.
Exactly. You don't trade one of your best players to them for what? Why are you trying to beat the team you trying to defeat better? That just don't make sense. So
I always wanted to know what Michael Redd's potential was going to be before his injury.
Yeah, Michael Redd, man,
he was a shooter.
He was James Harden before James Harden. Michael Redd was James Harden before James Harden. Yeah. And that's what people didn't know. And I saw him in Milwaukee.
That's what made a classic.
And I saw him and he played like in a pickup game. And they was talking like, oh, Michael Redd, he got it. KD wanted the business. And I was like, James.
Oh, yeah. I think that's him on the year right there.
He's like, he was the next Reggie. No. His game was more like James. Because he could take you off the dribble. His shot, everything, he reminded me fundamental. And I was like, Michael Redd, man. And I was like, one thing about Michael Redd too is his discipline, man. It's like, if he had a strength and conditioning coach, and you know, his weight, keeping his weight under control.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's just, I listened to it on my way home. It took me a couple of days to
Okay, I gotta take that episode out there.
So yeah, you do all these things, man, and you could
Yeah. I
definitely
love it.
see.
Yep.
I mean, his handles wasn't on hard level. I'm just saying, if you watch the style of Michael Redd, how he played, and look at James Harden, it's comparable. You know, it's similar.
Right.
You don't have to.
Yeah, so the 72 games would actually help them, but they finna do another playoff for the 8th seed like they did this year. That's what I said. They was testing that out because they want to use that anyway, have a little mini tournament between the 9th seed, the 8th seed, have a little mini tournament to have them see who's gonna win the 8th seed. Have like 4 teams there. If they close, just let them battle. I'm like, then what's the season about? So I'm like, if I win enough games and we, you know, and we ain't tied with them, why the hell I got to play a playoff series with them? Does not get to what I've already accomplished? So if I'm the 8th seed, I'm gonna be a little pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
I got to play it. I fought all this way so we can win the 8th seed just to get in a tournament to be the 8th seed.
I heard.
I'm like,
I heard that. I heard that. I read on a headline. It could be fake or real. Who knows? But I heard like Carmelo said that he wants to come to the Knicks, but only if he comes to the Knicks, Chris Paul has to come with him.
Here's the thing. They want to
I'm just like
to New York and try to make the Knicks something, but here's the thing. The Knicks could get Chris Paul and move him there next year. And if they want to absorb that contract, they can afford it. But are you putting your future in Chris Paul, who only got 2 years? Chris Paul might won a championship run. He's getting 36 and 38 million. I just did a whole rundown on the NBA and like about the contract, the Supermax, how it was ruined the NBA because they tried to use it as a diversion to keep people on teams. Now they're going to try to eliminate Supermax because it's not working. People are walking away from $50, $60 million and still going on another team. AD just did it. He just left about $60 million on the table.
Crazy.
Right. It's crazy, man. It doesn't make any type of sense.
Yo, Cino.
Yo.
You think I don't know. I mean, the 72 game thing, I don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference. But I do think that by it being a little bit, maybe 10 games short, maybe it could be more competitive. I don't know. Maybe just a little bit. You think?
I mean, it's not about. It depends on what the league gonna allow. It can be as competitive if they get out the way. You know, when you got the refs trying to, you know, make agendas and they trying to give this guy some shine or whatever, instead of letting the game dictate. You know, when they had Murray playing against Utah, the NBA didn't have no dog in that fight. They basically let them go.
Right.
Play. So when they went at it and played, you saw 2 great matchups. You was watching great games. It was exciting. You saw Mitchell, you know, doing his thing. You saw Murray doing his thing. They was getting off, and people was watching and talking about the series because it's aesthetically pleasing to watch. You know, when you watch the Lakers game, it's aesthetically pleasing. You know, and seeing LeBron play is just like he slows the game down and just makes it boring. He don't bring that excitement. You know, like Kobe brought, like Mike brought. When you saw Mike,
of course.
You knew you was gonna see something special. You know, you knew something's gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
right. My man,
it was gonna be a thriller Manila every time.
You know all about it.
Yes, I do. Hey, Carcino, man, I appreciate you letting me be on their platform, man. I love the craft, man. I'm subscribed. I just subscribed not too long ago. But a caller, who was it? Somebody was on the panel talking about they wanted to comment about Chris Paul getting traded with Carmelo going to the Knicks. I don't want to do it. I want to remain organic, let them boys build chemistry and all that above. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
actually in a good position. The best position they've been in years. When Knicks, they needed to get right here. They cap friendly. Now they can build the team the right way. They got the GM out of there who needed to get out of there. I was like, dude, Mills he's lost his touch, man, and he's getting because I'm like, they never should have got Frank. You know, Frank's a good kid, but Frank the time he ain't ready for the league. And I tried to tell people that when he got him, he's like, no, he gonna develop. I'm like, nah, he ain't ready. And I was like, they got the young kid, and he had a great rookie season. And I was like, dude, y'all think he was supposed to be Tyler Hero? He's like, man, Tyler Hero, man, he ain't. I'm like, Barrett actually had a good rookie year. I'm like, y'all just not paying attention, but I'm like, he actually did more than what he was required to do. And he did good with all the pressure on him. He's a rookie. I was telling people, I'm like, no, he's a rookie. He got to develop. Certain players got to develop. You just can't throw everybody in there and they just going to start scoring 30, 40 and that. That's not what he was required to do. And he was playing on a bad team.
Horrible team. No spacing.
Right.
And, I mean, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
No, you right. No spacing. But I like Zebo. I like when Zebo started doing what he needed to do. I like when they got my man, not Zebo, my man, God dog,
Jamal Crawford.
Oh, my man from the Lakers that came over. Oh, I forget him. I was just talking about him. My man from the Lakers.
What year was this?
He came from the Lakers. Zach Randolph.
Oh yeah, Zach was a beast. Then they traded to Memphis. They had Jamal Crawford and him.
Yep.
Same year, and they broke him up, man. I didn't understand that move. That's when we had Isaiah Thomas, correct?
Yeah.
I respect Knicks fans.
And now they got my man Randall. Randall took time to get used to the system. See, when Randall came over from the Lakers, that's when they started letting him get into the flow of the game. It took him a while because he wasn't playing like he was playing in LA. I'm like, y'all gotta trust him. I'm like, he'll get the floor. Y'all just gotta get Julius Randle the ball and let him work.
I think he was trying to do too much, his first year there. And I tell you what, he has an excellent workout regimen, man. I mean, I've seen his workout film. And like I said, I think he was just doing too much his first year trying to get everybody together or whatnot. That's why he had a problem turning over the ball. But that's okay, man. His second year, he ought to be all right.
Yeah, who that guy y'all got? That guy y'all got, what's his name? Payton or something?
Alfred Payton.
Man, that's my guy. I want him on my team. I was like, man, somebody that's physical, somebody man, he ready to play. Man, I was like, this dude go play.
Cut that stuff off his head.
Man, when he knocked LeBron, man, when he plugged LeBron, I'm like, get that up out of here. That's my new favorite player. And the way he went up on Jay Crowder, man, I was like, that's what you need. That's somebody the Knicks need to sign him right now to an extension. I want him on the team. You need somebody with some attitude, who ain't no punk. I like, that's him. You want a guy like that with heart. He gonna play. He gonna disrespect nobody on the team.
Knicks will get their break one day.
Your team, because he gonna ride. You winning, and you got a winning environment. You need that guy online. Back in the day, people think they just a soft team. They had some enforcers. You weren't just finna come up in there. Like them Showtime Lakers, they had enforcers. Just come in there and sweet. They'll get physical. Because they had to learn to play that way. You gotta have somebody on there that was gonna bang. And the Knicks, and that's why I'm like, they never give credit to my man Anthony Mason. Anthony Mason was a point guard.
TSU, baby.
Yeah, that dude was with the little slick cross, boop, 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 the quick crossover. He could cross. He was like a 2-guard. He played 2-guard and he was a point guard. And I was like, Anthony Mason could actually play. He wasn't just going to come in. I'm like, Anthony Mason was a beast. Cross, pop, pop, pop. I'm like, he's a big muscle bound. I was like, they don't even remember that. I was like, he had handles. I was like,
couldn't shoot worth a lick though, but he can handle that rock.
Yeah. But then that's why they ended up getting rid of, I think Oakley had to go because they had to make room. Because Charles Smith was the worst decision. I was like, Charles Smith was a disappointment to me. And
Why you go there?
I seen the video. I seen the video of on.
And
I watched the game live. I watched the game live because I didn't get no sleep. I went to school. I was depressed. And not only that, Michael Jordan scored 55 points on my birthday, March 28th. And I wore a whole Knicks suit to school. I walked to school like, oh shit. I think it was like a Thursday night TNT game. We finna win this game. Man, heartbroken.
Man, I mean, this is when he wasn't Mike yet. Like, it was like the perfect time to get him. It was like, yeah, we can get Mike. You know what I do on Mike. You know, it was like, right now we can finally get our justice on Mike. About time. Let's get Mike. So everybody was like, okay, we're gonna finally get Michael Jordan. We didn't get Michael Jordan. I was like, that was the only game he looked good. The whole 16 games he played. The next game, the only game he looked good in.
And that was the year that Reggie Miller hit those 9 points in 18 seconds, and Patrick Ewing blew that layup. Carcino, hey man, I've been through it all, homie. So when we win, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, they really should have won in '94. They should have won Game 6. People don't think, I talked to John Stark at the Super Bowl party, and I was like, me and John was at the Super Bowl party. I got that picture with John. I was like, that was John's start spot. Because I was like, hey, Diddy was talking 250 to get through the door, and I'm trying to call my boy. They already on the inside. I'm like, man, I ain't finna go through the house, man. John Stark's got some down the street. I'm like, I'm going to pour that drum. Then you had Puffy at his party, and they were in New City, which was just like a whole row of clubs all the way down. They got the Cuban spot, the African spot, everything. And I'm like, man, this is dope. But this is set up the town. So every
Hey, where?
So when they came there and did that, John Starks had his all the way at the end. I said, I'm going to John's. I'm like, $250 to get through the door. You don't get a bottle or nothing to get in there. $250 I ain't paying no just so I can say I was with Puff. I'm like, man, you don't even get a bottle. I'm like, I ain't want to see the So I went down the street and I was like, man, I'm walking down E-Boy, and they was like, yeah, man, John Stark. I'm like, John Stark? That's who I want to talk to anyway. I bet I can't talk with John. Man, John said that was Stark. Like, man, y'all got problems. And I was like, he's like, you from Chicago? I'm like, damn right. And I hated Jordan. Y'all got problems. I'm a Pistons fan. I'm like, I'm a Pistons fan all the way. And I was like, y'all, anybody in this fight, I couldn't stand them. So I'm like, look, I could be right now. I know y'all got robbed. I watched the game. See, y'all had them in '92.
Like, hey, were you hurt? Were you hurt when y'all couldn't draft Curry?
Oh, they got robbed. I mean, they got jobbed because Golden State did so dirty. That dirty. They bought the apartment and everything. They still come there. They was in New York. They the only person that scouted him. Golden State worked to scout him. He didn't do a workout for them. They was like, man, they did a trade for the team right above the Knicks. I forgot who was above the Knicks. They did a trade. They were like, we having a trade announcement. They traded the pick. And right before that, they played Steph Curry. That's how they the Knicks. The Knicks and Steph Curry. They still ain't got over that. They still mad at the Knicks. Y'all play the Knicks. That's why the game was hard about that game. And y'all stole Steph Curry. Steph was shocked. Steph was like, man, me and everything. Like, we were there to go learn where to go. And like, next thing you know, they already know it's like draft. You ain't worried about it. Man, when that happened, it just went left because she was gonna have acting roles. So they was gonna get Aisha involved. They had a whole plan in New York for Steph Curry. They put him into the mix immediately. Like he was on Broadway, so he would have been featured a long time ago in the Knicks uniform, and they ruined that. And right away, when that happened, they had a chance to get Trae Young was the guy. Trae Young came through. They gave him the work.
Carcino, you killing it.
Trae Young, y'all had Trae Young was ready to come to the Knicks. This is where he wanted to play on Madison Square Garden, playing the Garden. They got doggone. They got doggone. My man coming in there, ready to go. He do the workout for the Knicks. He got on the Knicks uniform, everything. Trae, he ready to come to the Knicks. They do a trade. Dallas. Dallas and Atlanta do a deal. And he said, look, draft him. We'll do a trade. We're going to draft. I'm going to draft Luka. We want Luka. Because they took Luka and they was like, look, we'll draft Trae Young later. So y'all ain't got to pay him that money. Then y'all will get Trae Young. And we'll get Luka. That dirty deal. I'm like, just to screw the Knicks. And it was just dirty. Dirty move. And once again, they got T here now. I was wondering where T was at. But yeah, man, they did the Knicks dirty twice. And then when it came down to the and they should have, I think they had better if they had drafted him as a rookie instead of letting him go down. My man Dallas, and they finally got him on the team. I think they drafted him. My man, God, crossover. And for some reason, he just lost the game. They crossed in that over there before. Yeah, Sean, your audio.
Yeah, man, my audio the head out, but I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, man. You can stay on, you know. I gotta do this. Buzzing, and everybody's like, it's buzzing my ears.
But yeah, bro, you was talking about the marketing as far as like the 82 season, maybe 72 games.
Fellas.
Yeah. What's up, T?
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, man. So yeah, they going to 72 games for the next season. Right now, they still in discussion, but that's what they gonna do. Because they know that with the 72 games, all they got to do is come start the season right around Christmas and at about the same time, and you ain't going up against the NFL that much. You ain't gonna get hit that much. You can make all your Christmas money, the big Christmas games. They'll start off with Lakers, Clippers, Heat playing the Bucks. That'll open the season up, and then that'll be like, oh man, all right, get everybody back into the groove of the NBA. So now LeBron, though, they want to start like, man, let's start it in January. This ain't enough turnaround. Let's do it on Martin Luther King Day. That's a big day. Let's so now LeBron has started this whole thing, getting all the players to want to do it. Like, come on, everybody, let's go. Martin Luther King Day. We need a longer break. It's like
Team LeBron.
It's his league. Right. That's his name, Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. That's who y'all was finna draft. And
he's garbage. He is garbage.
No, his game, his rookie year, he was incredible.
Yes.
Then he got hurt, and then because he was over in Dallas smoking. And then when they got Luka, they didn't need him no more. So they ended up doing the trade. The Knicks got him anyway, but the Knicks should have drafted him as a rookie. And he played with the Knicks as a rookie and got used to the system, starting right out. He came in as the trade, and then it was like he didn't fit. He had so many games, and it was like the Knicks was a mess at that point. It was just like all these guards, they don't know what's going on, no coaches. So he was out of his system in the rhythm, but he was killing over in Dallas.
Derek Fisher, Tisdale. I said Tisdale. What's that? What's the coach name? Used to be Coach Memphis. I forgot dude's name.
That was the coach of Memphis was Tisdale.
Was it Tisdale or Fizdale? It was Fizdale. Man, dude, he didn't have no strategy whatsoever. I mean, the players weren't communicating. No man-to-man defense. No backdoor screen. No pick and rolls. No nothing. When Pat Riley had them boys, you seen the ball. That's why I like looking at the old film. That ball was moving. Proper screens, backdoor cuts. They executed. Man, these players all about, like you said, highlights.
Yep, highlight move, one-on-one isolation. Fizdale he come up under the system, but he's used to being under LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So he come up under the mountain heat under LeBron. So they running plays where it's give the ball to the main guy. In the Knicks, there is no real main guy. You got to run the offense. So there ain't no, all right, let's work through him. And I'm like, dog, you running this ain't the Miami Heat when they got LeBron, Bosh, and Wade. You know, Wade already know how to play the game. You know, so I'm like, you really messing up the flow and the rhythm here. But
I was trying to talk to LB last time we had the stream, man. He's convinced he wants Westbrook or Chris Paul. And it's like, man, y'all got so much young talent in New York. Ain't no reason to go get no.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah, that was LB. He was on here.
Yeah, it's like you know what I'm saying. Y'all spent over a decade trying to get out of all them bad contracts y'all signed over the years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to get right back into a massive contract. It's like, I don't need that. Y'all got the talent. You know what I'm saying?
Me personally, I think they gave up too much for Carmelo Anthony. He should have just waited a year. They gave up too much for Carmelo Anthony. Wilson Chandler. Who else they gave up? Danny Gallinari. These when they were young. And some picks. They gave up a lot. But, you know, Carmelo we made the playoffs a couple of times, but it wasn't worth the sacrifice to me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say something that's gonna hurt Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm glad they didn't get Curry. They'd have ruined Curry's whole career messing around in New York.
You think probably right?
Yeah, man, they don't know, man. You got an owner, man, in the GM. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to build no teams. They'd have never gave them no pieces to be successful with.
But I have to be truthful on this one right here. Ever since that Charles Oak incident, and you know your boy been catching that flame, he sat back. And ever since the owner, he stepped back, they've been gradually making positive moves. You know, we're getting Leon Rose in there, World Wide West. So I mean, everything, it might be a Kentucky pipeline, man. You feel me? So I'm being positive. And I hope the Knicks can go forward, man.
Right. They got Steve Stout in there, and I'm like, what y'all got Stout in there for? He's just the face of it. Stout just there to be around, like just to wear a suit, man. But Leon Rose gonna bring the wolves. He gonna bring them dogs in there. He gonna get you the horses. He can get you the horses to win it. The Knicks will be able to. Brooklyn think they got everything won. I'm like, y'all ain't won a game yet. Y'all ain't played yet.
Right.
The Knicks played them pretty hard last year.
Right. I'm like, the Nets think they got everything wrapped up. And they got a problem on the team already because Dinwiddie got to be moved. As great as he is, he's like, I shouldn't be coming off the bench. You know, that's what he was like, man, I feel like while my minutes being cut, I got to come off the bench. Him and Kyrie don't see eye to eye. So he got to be moved. So he's already a player that's finna be in rotation. They looking at Dylan because now Kevin Durant finna come. So your shot selections is really finna be limited. And he was a great player for them. And I'm like, man, they killed this whole game just having him come off the bench. And he's like, I'd rather just trade me, man. get me up out of here. He can't deal over there. And it's a lot of
smooth game. You got a smooth game too, man.
Yeah, where's the commitment to winning? You know what I'm saying? You know you ain't about to outshoot no Kevin Durant. It's not even a question. If I'm passing the ball and I got an open Dinwiddie or open KD, I'm going to give the ball to the open KD all day. I'm gonna give the ball to KD with two people on him before I give it to Dinwiddie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you better know your role. You got to know your role.
And LeVert, LeVert's like, look, man, I understand my role, but plenty of times he felt handcuffed. They got to look for Kyrie, and make sure Kyrie get his, you know, and the game when Kobe passed, you know, they made sure Kyrie had the ball, you know, that's when they looked out for him. But they was like, we don't want to play that type of game. You know, like Kyrie, our point guard, you know, out here trying to get 50 a night. You know,
Kyrie gonna make sure he get his.
Exactly.
He ain't worried about it. He gonna make sure he get his.
Yeah, they trying to say how long before Kevin Durant and Kyrie fall out? How many
That's
games?
what I be saying. That's what I be saying. Like
I
don't know
before that kick off, and they gonna end up falling out. And I'm
That's
like,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, if they start losing, that's when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, a lot of people assume that's like when he went to the Celtics, they was on the losing streak coming right out the door. And they had to jail and find their niche. That's the same thing gonna happen here because you got too many guys, you know what I'm saying, that was there before you got there. And that's the same problem they got now. You know, when they had them rookies come in, that's why they was like, okay, we rookies, we can listen to what's going on. But then when rookies start having success without them, when they came back that second year, you know, they was like on Boston looking like Brown and what's his name, Tatum was looking like, hey man, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals without y'all. Y'all trying to go back to this little brother thing. We ain't with that. Now you got to spread the ball around, and once them two start having clashes and the disrespect came, and they tried to do that little fake interview together like they was cool. I'm like, that's a cleanup job. I'm like, somebody finna get moved. And they was talking about signing Kyrie back and everything, but nah. And it was better fit. It was better fit off with him not on the team with that unit. They young and they ready to run and do their thing and they move the ball around. They a better team without him on it. And I didn't know Kemba was gonna change his game the way he did. And he did to it. And I was like, that's the Kemba. You need to be the Kemba that get 10 assists. They need you to get the 10 assists. They don't need the Kemba to score 30. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, try to get your 10 assists and you're going to be definitely in the mix. And y'all going to roll. But then he started, you know, I got to get 30 again. I'm like, no, Kemba, you ain't going to win it that way. You got to get those assists.
But see, Boston, they need somebody who's going to be the for sure step up in the clutch. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought it was going to be Tatum, and Tatum's not necessarily that guy yet. You know what I'm saying? If he'll ever be that guy. You know,
this thing is slow starts. He don't know how to get himself going early. And he'll go to a whole half. He had like 2 points, and in the second half, he start kicking in and get. It's like, dog, you gonna have to establish yourself early in the game, and then get you a little rhythm, then play through the floor of the game. Dog, you go in the Miami the playoff series. Dog, he scored 2 points in 2 games in the first half.
Yeah, terrible.
You can't be playing like that.
Yeah, terrible.
Right, you can't win games like that. And you got to have a system down the stretch, like you're saying. Like you got to flow in the last 2 minutes of the game. That's how the Pistons used to win. They knew Isaiah used to control the game so well. This is how the Knicks always was going to lose to them because Doc, who they had guarding him at the time, they had Doc
Rivers. It probably had to been Doc Rivers.
Right, and Doc was trying to guard Zeke, and I'll never forget it. Doc was out there trying to guard Zeke, and they played here in the playgrounds in Chicago in high school, and they have it would be like almost like a college or high school football game. It's people watching a pickup game with Doc versus Isaiah, and that was like all price of admission to get in there just to see people they got people sitting on their shoulders trying to watch those games. That was like watching an outdoor NBA game. That's how it was. They was Mark Aguirre and Isaiah and all them, man. They was doing these dudes. And Doc could come down and Doc could come dunk. Boom! I'm like, man. I was like, man, it was putting on a show. So Isaiah already know how to play Doc. Doc is real aggressive. And he's physical. And he like to get up in the mix and be all tough. So he's guarded Isaiah 1,000 times, but he could never keep Isaiah in front of him. Isaiah could do anything he want with Doc. He can take him off the dribble, everything. He knows exactly how to set Doc up and what Doc gonna bite on. So he knew how to run the offense. He said, everybody get yours. I'm gonna help y'all get in position. And what they was trying to do is establish James Edwards on Patrick Ewing. they'll let Buddha go down there in that post and work him and keep
hit that little fadeaway.
Yeah, and he was putting up like 20 and 30. I'm like, Buddha was tearing him up. And that helped Lambeer on the rebounds. Because now Pat is doing all this work trying to keep up with him. Now he can't be like worried about Lambeer. He got to worry about James Edwards down in the post. Because James Edwards hitting that fadeaway and making him work on the defensive end. Then they know they're going to go to Pat on the offensive end. So now Pat rotating from left to right, and they working him out. In the last 6 minutes of the game, though, Isaiah takes over. In the way, that's how the system works. Everybody gets theirs and Zeke, but Isaiah would always establish himself. He got open shot, he'll take it. So you got to respect him because he can score at any time. But in the last 6 minutes of the game, they know that's Isaiah's time. Zeke gonna do what he gonna do. Or if somebody got it rolling, they gonna make sure they find him. Like Vinny on fire, they gonna find
Vinny. Yeah.
Like, microwave. But the last 6 minutes of the game is Zeke's. And they know that's the system, and they always poise, and everybody know they roles. And I'm like, that team was a prime example of everybody knowing they roles and assignments. But they already strategized against the Knicks. And that's why the Knicks could never do nothing against them until they finally beat them that one year when 92, that was the last time we was together. And I was like, man, everybody was fighting with each other then. Lambeer fighting with the general managers. So that whole season, Chuck Daly was out. Zeke didn't want to play with him no more anyway. So they were just looking to get out. But the Knicks finally won. And I said, yep, the Knicks John Stark stepped up and they was ready for that step. But
they still have X-Man wasn't on that team, was he? On that 92. He was gone by then, wasn't he?
X-Man was on 92. That was the team. Yeah, X-Man was part of the reason they won that.
That's when I started liking the Knicks then. That's when they played the Bulls. They won the Eastern Conference Finals with it.
Won that game. They got robbed in Game 7 in Chicago.
Game seven, man.
Yeah, they was trying to get physical with Scotty.
Yeah, and that's when Jordan stepped up. I mean, that's why it went 7 games, because Scotty he went back in his shell. Man, they were poking him. Everybody was. Man, and X-Man, that was his assignment. And he was scoring in the low post on Scotty, and Scotty going over to Jess Kersey. Jess, he's starting again. I'm like, he would come over there and tell him, shut up. And he'll just and they knew.
No.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna see those. Hey, remember when X-Man and Michael Jordan?
That's why I'm saying.
You gotta finish face.
Michael watched for 6 games, Scottie Pippen. This is why I'm like, dog, Scottie Pippen will never be in that category. Like, man, Mike needed him. I'm like, dog, Mike had to come and step up to X-Man because he been punking this man for 6 straight games. That's
the whole series.
Because Scotty's scared. And I was like, man, he was scared, getting scared again. Mike had to move him out the way. Like, nah, you got me now, dog. Now you got the big dog in your face. Yeah, Mike wasn't no punk. So he was like, look, Mike, I know about you. I need to go back to punking your man.
Like, no. Only I can slap Scotty around.
Right. Yeah, he was out here having lunch. They was like, man, they calling me up like, man, Scotty out here. I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. Let him eat his food. I ain't got nothing to say to Scotty. They was like, yeah, but you don't like him. I'm like, not exactly. Why the hell I want to talk to him for?
Boy, you a fool.
Hell, I want to talk to Scotty Pippen. I dare you to tell him he sucked to his face. I'm like, if he asks me, I'm like, I'm not gonna talk to him. But if he asks me, hey, what you think about me as a player? So one of the softest ass players I've ever seen. Charles Smith was the only other person I would probably put on that list. The all soft team, you, Charles Smith. Aldridge, Lamar Aldridge, all of them up there.
That's hard, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm sitting here trying to think of who will be on my all soft team. That's a good question right there.
We gonna do one. We're about to do a stream yard on that, so we gonna have to go and really go through the list. But I'm like, right now, them the ones I get on top of my head. DeRozan gonna be on that too. DeRozan gonna be probably the two guard on that list.
What about Doug Christie? Would Doug Christie be on?
Doug Christie.
I don't think Doug Christie was soft.
I mean, he's soft, but I mean, the thing is, it was different. He was gonna be tough because his wife was gonna beat him up if he didn't fight. So
it is.
Dude, I'm telling you, Doug Christie's wife, she's on a reality show. And she was with some other woman that was on there talking about fighting her. I'm like, do they realize who they talking to? She in her 50s and ready to tear somebody up. I was like, that woman don't play. She didn't care who that was. Rick Fox got his stuff. Rick Fox, I was like, Rick Fox thought he was tough. I was like, man, that was two light-skinned dudes really fight. That's how two light-skinned dudes fight. Dude can't even get out of the curtain. How you gonna jump out the curtains on somebody and you can't get out of the curtains?
Jump out the curtain.
Worse. He couldn't get out the curtains. He gonna run. He gonna go back to the locker room, run all the way to the other side, and get behind the curtains and wait for him to come out. Surprise him. So
you the Wizard of Oz, nigga.
He got the jump on him and everything. So as soon as he walked into the locker room, he tried to jump out, and he halfway out. Christie looked like, what? Then he see his Rick Fox. He just started whopping the curtain. Whop, whop, whop. Oh, you seeing his foot come out. Then you see the wife. Christie's wife come down there and start whooping on doggone Rick Fox. They whooping on Rick Fox. Shaq had to go back there. Shaq like, whoa, get over there, man. He grabbing the wife and they give it to. She up there about to punch Shaq. I'm like, man.
That's classic.
Man, that was classic. Rick Fox got himself whooped in the curtains. Man,
now, was that preseason game? Was that that preseason game?
I don't know if it was preseason
yeah, they got the squabbing. Yeah, the Lakers and the Kings, right?
Yeah, that's
I remember that shit.
Yeah, and then he hit him with that. Yeah, then he hit him with that because he two-pieced him on the court. Christie gave him the two-piece on the court, and that's why he was salty. Man, then he went back there, and Christie, man, that was the funniest thing I done seen. Because the wife got back there, and she got the reputation. They like, man, Christie's wife, man, she was in there holding it down. She was putting it down. Shaq was even scared of her. Shaq grabbed her. She was like, get your hands off me. I was like, man. But she called the shots. She was the one that was bossing it. Somebody said it's on YouTube if y'all want to see it. I do.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have to pull that one up.
Oh,
it was preseason.
Yep.
He's like, Christie gave Pretty Ricky that work. But I'm like, how you jump somebody? You get the drop on him and you can't even get out the doggone curtains. My man was trying to find his way out and get this butt whooped. They just punching him through the curtain. I was like, you the one trying to jump somebody and don't know how to jump.
Don't know how to jump.
Man, the light skin award with the Fox, man, that made him lose his hair, man. Fox hair was gone after that.
You wrong, man.
Yeah, his hair was gone. He was back bald. Then he started getting, he grew back gray. I'm like, man, he went gray fast. My man, the gray curls in there. But man, I feel bad for Fox. That man got busted at the doggone Lakers championship party, man. You married to Vanessa Williams. She got all these kids by you and everything. They got the Lakers. They doing a doggone interview with them after they won the championship. They at the Playboy Mansion. Why are you trying to be on film? I would have denied all type of recordings. They sitting over there interviewing them at the Playboy Mansion celebrating after they won the championship. Rick Fox got 2 chicks in the background. Then he on the camera. He drunk as could be. Yeah, man, we celebrate. I'm like, dude, he was done. He was done. I saw that. I'm like, I've never seen nobody sabotage themselves like this.
Yo, what up?
Yo, what's up, CP? I guess he thought the video that wasn't going nowhere. Like the video was like just for the Playboy Mansion, like it's going in their vault or something. This on TV, they doing an interview live at the Playboy Mansion. Fox got like 2 blonde.
Big dummy.
Oh man, Fox was the immediately.
Right.
Cost him a fortune. I was like, no, it cost you a fortune. That was the dumbest thing I've seen somebody do.
Yeah.
Oh, Slim want to get in? There's the link, Slim. You can get in. He's like, Vanessa Williams still fine. Yeah, she's fine, but oh, CP, he on break. CP on break. Look at him, man.
Yeah, I know.
Ain't no wrong in the grind on, homie.
Yeah.
He knew there was something going on. He had the riot shield on. I mean, the riot gear on. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
I tell you was killing me with that last time, man. Hey, y'all follow the rules around here.
He said the new leader of the light skin mafia for the few years is great. I wouldn't say it's great.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What's up?
Not much. I do want to ask you a question. I know you don't like LeBron just like I don't like LeBron. But my question to you is, do you think the NBA going to recover from a rating standpoint because of the LeBron era? Because you know what Larry Bird and Magic Johnson did, and you know how Michael Jordan took it to another level. But you see, LeBron took it down based on his, player empowerment and political movements among other things. I don't think the NBA could ever recover from that from a rating standpoint because everybody after LeBron gonna want to be like LeBron, and they're gonna want to pull the same moves as him. So, what do you think?
They're gonna have to get a commissioner that is very firm. One that's can't be intimidated by players or in partnership with the players. He works with the players, but the board of governors, they're gonna do what they need to do. They're gonna say, look, this is the board, we'll make that decision. We can't give no player this type of power again, where they can come in and be able to almost, I won't say the word sabotage, but basically collusion with the union. As far as the sports agency, Clutch, their involvement with influence on the union, you controlling where players go, and all this stuff. It's too much collusion going on in the league, and it's all leading up to LeBron. This is the part of the game a lot of people don't even like about him. Is all this backdoor maneuvering stuff that he does. And this is the drawback it has on the league because you ruining teams from other owners. People bought a team and you ruining their back line and their money. So that's why I said this CBA is going to be a lot of changes coming to the table. People are going to have to get adjusted to. And now that this was going to come to a head before COVID even hit. So now that COVID can hit, it's going to be a whole nother party. Because this whole game has changed. I don't know rating-wise, is it going to improve? Because the way people watch the game is different. People watch barely, like they watch it on, now they got YouTube, and that's the reason I've been having problems for the last 2 weeks, because they got a partnership with the NBA. And if you was on the Patreon, you already heard, I didn't went through them, and they didn't told me the whole script, that they have an actual contract with some people on YouTube, and they can't even talk negatively about the NBA. So some of these channels that they got, they can't even talk negatively about it. They're in the NBA thing and they have a contract with them. But I'm like, I don't have a contract with them. So why are they sabotaging my papers? So I got to talk to a mediator, a go-between between YouTube and myself over this situation with the NBA. That's been happening for the last 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, tomorrow starts this right back up again.
You know what? You're so right about that. And I want to say, I remember you was talking about LeBron and his pro media members, people he get, jobs in the media like Richard Jefferson and Perk. And you're right about that. You're right about their bias commentary, because even when Michael Jordan had Ahmad Rashad, but he was credible. He was credible in all sports, and he will go after Michael Jordan with questions. These pro LeBron media members, they won't go after LeBron. They always agree everything he's saying. If somebody even slightly have a criticism of him, they saying jump down their throat and be a little sensitive. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, well, that's because the media's changed now. The newspapers are dead. So nobody's like the sports marketing, like back then, the media controlled the sports. Right now, the media is at the mercy, because of social media. They're at the mercy of the players now. So they like begging the players for interviews. But back then, the media was all powerful. They were like, we control you, because they had the papers. Now, because of the internet, that killed the newspaper business. Newspaper business is basically destroyed. You still got those old people that want to buy papers, but now the papers are reduced. They don't even pay the writers anymore, because you got people making blogs. So if somebody's making a blog post, and they blog post can go and do whatever, and people is gonna go off the blog. They ain't even reading the writer. This dude like, I won a Pulitzer. I won 3 no Peabody awards. And they don't give a dog about that. They gonna listen to the dude say he got caught with 3 hoes in the hotel down in Dallas. I saw him. And this is what went down. He ain't got the period in the right place, no comma in the right place. They don't care. They want to hear what he had to say.
It's not about integrity no more. It's about being first.
Right. So the sports media know that they're on their last leg. That's why they all have to conform to the new media of internet, Twitter, and all this stuff, because this was beneath them before. They like, I'm not no blog. I'm not on the internet. That's for my kids. Now they up there. Because I know a prime example, because I'm in sports media. So I already know how it was going down with the money. And I was like, dude, I'm in sports media. So I came from nowhere into I'm in the same room with all the sports writers from 17 years, 20 years, 25. We all sitting at the same table. And I'm like, dude, I came from the internet to here. I didn't go to no Peabody Awards, none of this stuff that these dudes are talking about. And my buddy, who's a lawyer and a writer, I know how the whole system worked, and they were controlled by the companies. The companies will pay them to either write something good about them, or they'll give them a juicy bit, and they'll work with them. Like if the player got caught with the situation, they's like, look, we need you to put a good spin on this. We're gonna give you the lead on the next story or the next exclusive. We're gonna give it to you. But we need you, don't crush them right now, because we got this going on. And you'll be able to do this. And they'll hold information. They'll have information and hold it back, because they don't want it to affect something that's coming up. And the owners will look out for them and give them a piece and all this stuff. And you'll be amazed at what sports writers' main complaints are about. They so spoiled. They complain about food, free food. They give you, it depends on who you with. You get like a free hoagie. They give you a free sandwich, a doggone Coca-Cola, and you'll have a piece of fruit maybe. They give you like a hoagie sandwich and a Coca-Cola or water, and people will complain. It's free food. I'm like, dog, it's free food. It depends on where you at. Like the best meal I ever had for the media was Mayweather Canelo. Canelo. I had roast beef. I had Italian roast beef sandwiches, Coca-Cola, cookies, everything. I'm like, dude, they gave me a book bag, a pen. I'm like, dang, I got a whole book bag and stuff, man. It was like they spent all expense on that for the media. And I'm like, man, they treated us like rock stars over here. That was the only time you're gonna get that. Everywhere else, you're gonna be hoagies and a coke and be happy.
But you're right about that because I do sports media for the Jacksonville Jaguars and and on game day, they have their own media buffet where you could eat food all day with popcorn they give away and everything else. But what people don't know is there's a lot of clicks in the media too, as far as newspaper writers stay in one area, the TV people stay in one area, the blog people stay in the other area. So you could speak on that as well based on your experience.
Yeah, very simple. Some of them, like some writers, they know about you already. Like some of the, like the Examiner.com. See, the Examiner was paying people a lot of money, a lot of sports writers. They were paying them a lot of money to keep write articles for them, and they were getting paid by the clicks and people like per impression. So they found out a way to manipulate the impressions on Examiner.com, and this is why Examiner went to the toilet because all those sports writers that they were doing, they were just reposting their old stuff and they putting it up there and putting pictures and they on Examiner and they was getting all these hits on Examiner. They was getting all this money, and the writers was all going to Examiner, but they were all like fake hits. Like they'll put them in like some blog site where you just keep like giving them a bot, so they get paid every time the impression show up. And it depends on what kind of ad revenue you have. Like for us, we was getting paid off impressions. So we were making a lot of money doing that. So that means like nobody got to click on the ad to pay us. We were getting paid by impressions. So as soon as it show up, we got the advertisement. So they knew who we were when we showed up to the place. Like we go to an event, boxing. So if there was a boxing sports writer, like they'll have their main media. You write about that. Like if they have like the guys you see on TV, they'll normally have them in one area, but it depends on what fight it is. Now, if it's the main fight, because boxing media is a little different from like basketball and everywhere else, basketball and NFL, it's gonna take a lot to get in there, and if you do get in, you're gonna be so far in the back room because they already got the people that's selected to have the certain seats, interviews, and everything for certain people. But
That's
if
where
you
you see the
starting
real
off,
buffalo.
yeah, but if you starting off like in media, you want to like do NBA and you want to get into that umbrella, you have to first go through the PR agent or the market agency that's hosting it. And when you go through them, mostly it's Magna Media. That's like the big conglomerate. So if you go through Magna Media and then they give you, if you get to go in there, be prepared to not be able to interview LeBron. People think like, I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna interview LeBron. You won't even get to LeBron. You'll be able to probably get to the 12th string, the coaches, the chili. You get used to interviewing them. And I'll be like, them the people I want to talk to anyway. I wouldn't even want to talk to anybody else. They the ones I really want to talk to about the game. I talk to the coaches, the assistant coach. That's where all the info gonna come from. I'm like, that's where all the juicy stuff gonna come. I wouldn't want to sit there and talk to AD and LeBron and watch them give me some media, some media training thing. Plus the NBA, they got so many rules. You say the wrong thing, you kicked out, you barred. You got to go back. You get blacklisted. There's so much going on over there with so much politics. You wouldn't want nothing to do with it. Boxing is because boxing don't really have no main platform or somebody representing it. Anybody could come in into boxing sports media. You can have a YouTube page only and basically get there now. Before you used to have a website and actually do something. Now they be like, "What's your YouTube page doing?" I'm like, "For real? we on now." I'm like, the dude from YouTube is eating better than me. Like, I mean, because what's his name? Because boxing socialists, we were so established at one point. Our website is still going. Our website is like it's like still up there in the sports websites, like right under boxing scene, and I think we did better than Fight Hype website because nobody really goes to websites anymore. They just go right on YouTube. Everybody just transitions straight to YouTube, so they focus is YouTube. So they right because they're like, why am I paying all this money really to promote on my page, on my internet page, and not just say just go to YouTube. And I'll just get my money off the ad revenue and whatever marketing I got done. But that's just the way it is, man. And I've met everybody just through the sports media, and with boxing, it's different. Like everybody kind of like meet everybody because you got to go. If you're a boxing guy, you got to be in those fights. I remember that other guy who like the face, the black guy who now they put him on Showtime or whatever, Top Rank. I keep thinking his name. Oh God, what is his name? He's on Seconds Out now. What's her name? The girl, Joey Phelps. You know, when the way she got in the game, all the female reporters, if you're a female reporter in this game, you done slept with somebody. You know, I mean, I don't want to put her business out there, but let's just say she slept with some people. And everybody know her business. But like everybody in the sports world know her business. So, you know, it's just sad, but it's perks of the business. They come through the door like that though. So it's like they come in want to get in the boxing game like so bad, like, oh, I just want my opportunity. I'll just do anything. I mean, that's basically what they sound like when they say, hi, my name is such and such. They come in sounding just like that. And the fighters have them, the managers, the trainers, the water boy, everybody. Next week, somebody got her hugged up. Yeah, she finna interview me next week.
But you're right about that.
They said, he said Malika Andrews is still pure. Hey, one of the chicks she married, Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, man, he took her and had her and did his thing.
People forgot about like Miss Info. She was on sleeping with rappers and everything else, and she was working at Hot 97. You know, so it goes on.
It goes on all through many. You know that. Name one of them that didn't.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question about this? Some of the stuff y'all been talking about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Y'all say because y'all just spoke on how media's changed now. So media is different. Obviously, a lot of people, their first news source, like even me, when I looked at the election updates, I went straight to YouTube. I didn't go to CNN, and then I just went to YouTube to just try to find. So when we talk about LeBron, you were talking about LeBron earlier, and you're talking about if you say something bad about LeBron, everybody jumps down your throat.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the other way around. I haven't seen the attacks on people that go at LeBron. I think it's been the people who defend LeBron get attacked more so for defending him. That's what I've seen on at least this like on just YouTube in general. I've seen more people take the opportunity to take jabs at him as opposed to giving an honest assessment of what he can do.
I mean, attacking your platform and page. Like I'm saying, if you do something like Skip Bayless and them do, like Skip Bayless and them, they could do all that. They could talk about them. They have an established platform. Like they protect it. I'm talking about the average YouTuber. Like me, I don't have any association with no group. So they can't, right? And I was in the search engine, in the search platform with the NBA, ESPN, my videos are suggested. It'll come up in what they have. They got the browse history search, and that's where a lot of people see my videos at. And then they would suggest the videos. And my video would be in the suggested box right next to everybody else's videos. My video be in that category because it's NBA. So the first video I did that caused this wave when I said, because it happened before, but normally it's like a little thing, like they'll sabotage the one video because they don't like it or they don't put it in their group. So they did one of that to my LeBron videos, and then it didn't move. It just stopped. The traffic stopped. It died. Everything. So we'll talk, and then they'll fix it, and things will go back to normal. Then they went ahead and changed things back around again. This time it got more severe. Once I put out a video. First, I said how Adam Silver is ruining the NBA. That video right there it went and did some things, so people still went back and saw it because it was suggested, even though it stopped. The next week, I said Luka Doncic is better than LeBron in each and every way. That was the video that did it. Right there. It stopped. It was premiering. Everybody was getting the link. They coming in, and next thing you know, it stopped. Like right on the dime. It didn't move anymore. And I said, what the hell? I said, man, that's why I was watching the video, and I was like, what? Something going on. Somebody said, man, I didn't even see the video. They took it down. Like, their video was taken down. And ever since then, people couldn't get notifications. The video traffic is going bad. Everything. Me and YouTube going back and forth.
I mean, I know something's going on with your channel because, you know, I did that video where I was messing around with you and Ticket, and that video got yellow marked, and I'm like, yellow marked, and so I'm just thinking, I'm like, what is it? I know Ticket's name is automatically gonna cause a yellow mark, even when I took his name out the title. It was still yellow mark. So yeah, sometimes I know that they do try to control the narrative to some degree. I believe that the powers that be can control stuff like that, but
because see, the thing is, we have a contract. Like on my Patreon, I actually we have a go through because when you get to a certain level with you can contact YouTube directly. Like you can do a chat box, everything, email with them, and talk directly to the creative support. So now we have a go-between. Like we have a person that mediates it and talks, because we're past the point of me communicating directly to them. That's not working. So what we did was say, all right, let's get the go-between. So the go-between is doing the negotiating because they have a relationship there with them. They work there, they know somebody there, so they can get it right across easier. So I'm like, all right, let's do this go-in-between. I'll pay to have the go-in-between there and be able to mediate this thing so we can find a common ground, come to a thing like, what's the problem? I'm supposed to have freedom of speech, and I can say what I want to say, and I don't belong under this umbrella. And then that's what I found out. And, you know, we got it live on the tape. The guy tells you that the NBA does have because they got a contract with YouTube on YouTube TV. So they have a contract with certain YouTubers that they got to follow certain codes of conduct, and they can't talk negatively about the NBA. But I am not a part of that deal. So that's why I'm like, I'm not a part of that deal. I'm not party. The NBA didn't send me no check to tell me I'm part of their umbrella. So they can't put me in that. I don't have to abide by those rules. So if they're just automatically doing that, they're in violation. So we had to go ahead and we still working on it. Tomorrow's another meeting. So we'll see what's going to happen there. But, I'm like, look, I'm fighting for everybody to get to get the video they supposed to see. They trying to come in and sabotage. That ain't cool. So I'm like, we ain't breaking any rules.
Do you think the NBA, as a part of their contract, and I almost believe that they negotiated this, do you think that they negotiated as a part of their contract that they can control aspects of the algorithm that affect certain channels, where they can say this specific channel?
It doesn't have to negotiate. It's a business move. It's like the YouTube making money off the NBA, and if you got somebody saying don't watch the NBA, and making a video, and you like, wait a minute, we make money with them, and we make a lot more money with them than we make it with you. So they'll do it on their own. If the NBA just tells them like, hey, I don't like what you're doing, this video here. Oh, they wouldn't even conference anybody. They just take it down. Who is them? Like, who is you to mess up that contracted money they get from the NBA? No way. They ain't gonna bat an eye. They can automatically do it, and you gonna file the complaints, and they gonna try to say you crazy. It's part of your imagination. And you be like, what? So I'm not looking at these numbers correctly.
But do you think you do go a bit overboard though with it sometimes?
Absolutely not. I don't think I've done enough.
I love his crap. I love it.
Everybody can't be on LeBron payroll.
It's not about because I'm critical of LeBron, but man, it's
No, but
just like
it's just about YouTube going corporate. You know what I'm saying? Where it started off as just something by the people for the people. You know what I'm saying? And it's just turned into this big uh extension of corporations. You know what I'm saying? And it happened when they, you know what I'm saying, when they started demonetizing everybody, you know what I'm saying, and it, you know, they put it under the guise of, you know, calling things hate speech and just changing the narrative of what people were doing with their videos and putting it in
mm-hmm.
these boxes and saying, hey, sponsors don't want to spend money on anybody that's, you know what I'm saying, that falls in this box. You know what I'm saying? They're
That's
boycotting.
facts.
You got too many of these people doing these things, so we're pulling all our ads. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know what I'm saying, the corporations unilaterally got behind each other to boycott YouTube. And that's what that's what they basically made YouTube sell out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see,
And
the thing is, you're right. That is what, because I was, dude, the money I was making in, man, like
they couldn't have that.
my money didn't really stop until I was on a date. I was on a date when the thing went left. I was on a date and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. It was in March. I'm sitting there on the thing. I had a video. I had to take it down because the broad was tripping. But man, I'm on the date and I'm looking at my numbers through the thing and I'm like, this ain't right. I was like, this can't be right. So now this affected my whole day because now she's like, yeah, and then I went to go like, shh, whatever. Hold on. About my bread now. So I kind of like shut her down, but man, yeah, she was bad, boy. I wish I'm trying to, you know, you try to get them back later. I was looking at an old picture like, damn.
You like
We
that?
not get up back, but yeah, the thing is though about the ratings is 100% because the thing is that they were having the drill music that started all this. Drill music started the whole apocalypse. Nobody really know that, but the drill music, that's what did it. All the drill music, the drill videos, it's drill time. Everybody got guns, with masks on, yeah, and then next thing you know, cut away, Walmart commercial. Because before, all you do is start your video, and if you start a video, you had, start a YouTube channel, you was automatically monetized. Automatically monetized. There was no waiting period. It wasn't no, you got to get this many people. You got to do this. So I remember when it went left because people was like, man, something's going on. There's some big changes. And then I was in contact with them. I reached out and said, hey, you know, am I in trouble? They was like, no, you know, if you're doing profanity. And I was like, well, I don't do profanity. So I was already green before they even went that way. So I was like, so I ain't had to make no real adjustments because I was already there. So then they was like, well, they finna start going through cleaning out bots and seeing how many people. So they was like, man, so you know, all your subscribers finna go. They finna clean out bots. I'm like, I don't have no bots. And sure enough, they went through there. I still had the same amount of subscribers. I'm like, look, I don't go out and buy that stuff. You saw them other people get hit. They channel losing 30, 40, 50,000, 60,000. Like, yeah, because they had people over there. I don't do all that. I could have had 1 million subs if I wanted to pay for it, like y'all do. I ain't trying to do all that. I was like, I'd rather have real people here that's talking and engaging and talking to some computer that ain't listening. So
yeah,
when they
they were just
that,
trying to get rid of people.
Yeah,
you know,
so,
it was
trim them out. They had to trim them all out because now you got all these people making these videos, and they tried to fight it because they was getting all the hits off the drill music. So they was getting all that ad revenue, and the ad companies was like, "Oh, you think we won't pull our ads? So you think this is a game when we telling we got family Walmart commercials popping up in the middle of a drill video and guns and stuff? Somebody smoking weed on the video, and no, we can't have that." They couldn't have it. And I understood it. I understood it from a business standpoint where the ad revenue companies was coming in at. They wanted somebody that was safe. So once they did that, then they ended up having to play ball once they saw that happen. So a lot of the big revenue companies stepped out. So we had small revenue companies come in. So the checks was like real small for YouTube back then. We were like, man, these checks are kind of small. But only the people that was safe, like I was one of the people in the umbrella that was safe. Like my money took a little bit of a hit, but I was still functional because my channel didn't have any infraction. So they was like, well, you know, this dude ain't really doing nothing wrong. So we could put him out there now. If I start talking about LeBron, this stuff didn't change until they got somebody in to try to like bring in extra revenue. Once they start opening up YouTube Music, and now the musical artists can get paid off YouTube, and they brought in my man from Def Jam. They brought him in there to control the music and everything from YouTube. And here we go. I was like, here we go. And they brought him in, and all these changes started. So YouTube starts like basically working for other companies, like Atlantic Records. And now you talk bad about Cardi B or something, your video might get flagged. Your video might not get moved. You know, so now it changes everything now. So now they playing politically agenda because they got money invested in it. Now then they did an interview. I mean, this thing with YouTube just a couple of years ago when they did the deal with NBA TV. Now it's going to affect any creators that's talking about the NBA and they ain't talking positively about it if they got any type of stature where they video could be up at the top. Because remember, they did us all dirty. Remember, I used to stream the game while the game was going on? Nobody was really doing that at first. And I started tagging. Everybody was flagged, and they wasn't getting paid. I was getting paid to do it. And everybody, that's why that dude RB started to take my title. They were getting their videos taken down. YouTube would just take it down completely. Even if they didn't even know if the video was there, it was automatically copyrighted. Mine didn't get copyrighted. It got, I think the first time it did, it was one copyright. And then I set it up and to the point where he couldn't copyright it. And he followed exactly what I did. And I'm like, oh, don't do that. Don't try to write your videos up like mine. Don't do that. And that's the only thing me and him ever put heads on. Then him and Ticket was at it like wolves. Ticket, he was stealing from me too. I'm like, all right.
If you gonna steal somebody's style, you gotta pay homage, man. You can at least pay homage.
Right, you know, and my thing was, I don't know what he was stealing in my style because I don't really watch him, but he was always on my page in the comment section. I'm like, dog, early on you was on my page, dog. You ain't had no views. I know what you did, man. It's cool, but you was on my page in the comment section. He was just trying to get subscribers, you know, and just starting up conversation and controversial. He was just hating. So I'm like, so the message he had must have been for Ticket. And I was like, dog, that message that you put must have been for Ticket. Because I've always had, you know, I was always bigger than you. I don't care if you become bigger than me. You can do whatever. What you eat don't make me right. So I don't care what the next man has. I'm like, I'm friends with people who got way bigger channels than you. They real big on YouTube, and they don't really care about anybody else that's doing what they doing.
Hey, Sino, I've been meaning to tell you. I got an idea for you. I know you do your thing, and you know what I'm saying. You 100. You know, salute to you. You one of the best to do this. But I was thinking one of the if you haven't done it so far, you should have like a picture episode where you had like a episode on your channel where you just pull out the picture book and then just tell the stories from there. You know.
I kind of did that before in a live stream. We did that like on a StreamYard. I think probably like T was probably on there.
Cause when you be doing it, maybe we'll miss it. Cause you'll do it like randomly. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was going through some photos that I had in the room, and we was just going through them and just going through some of the Mardi Gras. I think we had some Mardi Gras pictures. It was something. I think we did it on a StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
Just about like a week ago. We were just going through some pictures we had. But see, the thing is that that's a lot of work because that's a lot. I got like real photos, like the actual, like the disposable camera pictures. And I was like, dog, I was the only one with a camera back then. People back in 2006, that stuff was very rare. People weren't taking pictures like that. And that was like 06. You had to have a real camera. Camera phone was weak back then.
Yeah, they were sorry. Yeah.
I had just bought a real camera, like a $500 camera. And it was like, man, I was at down there with Floyd. And I went and got that one. And went back in there. It wasn't even set up right. And that was my first YouTube video that I posted. I was on YouTube for a whole year almost. Never posted anything. They weren't even bought by Google yet.
Quick question when it comes to you and Floyd's relationship. Do you have a relationship with Hollywood on Lock as well? Because I know he has a relationship with him too.
I don't have no connection to that dude at all. Don't want it either.
I don't like him.
I don't like. All right, I don't like him or the show. I don't like nothing he doing. So I'm like, Floyd put the show together. So
of course,
Floyd's show. That I do. Yeah, that's Floyd's show.
That's why I asked, because I know Floyd is the one that's funding it, and
Floyd put the money up for it because he was tired of people writing stories about him that was all negative. And this is something we talked to him about back before the Manny Pacquiao stuff was going on. Like, dog, you should have your own boxing platform on YouTube and all that. I'm like, dog, you already got the guys. You know, Ben Thompson is, he already gonna do something for Fight Hype. You already got the wolves. Let him go.
Well, let me ask you this.
I'm like, you got me out here doing it. I'm like, you got me out here fighting these wars for real. And I ain't on the payroll. It'd be great if I was on the payroll.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know
the holes are nice, but
Hollywood Unlocked don't pay its own staff, for what I heard. So do you think that's Floyd behind that, or do you think Floyd like that, the fact that he don't pay his staff and that he allow his staff to work for free or whatnot? Because I know, like I say, he's funded the show. So do he like those type of business moves from Jason Lee? Because I know Floyd is about his money, he's about his business, he's about being professional and corporate. So what you think about that?
Well, the thing about Floyd is Floyd don't know nothing about like the ins and outs of all of this stuff. All he knows about is tell him what he wanted to put out and what he needed to do. And what he didn't even do it for this guy. He didn't really do it for him. He did it for the girl that was, that was the one that was on the original host of the show. And she got hurt. I forgot her name. She was the supermodel back in the days, the video vixen.
Not Velez, right?
Melissa Ford.
Okay.
So Melissa Ford, she's one of the original cast. So it was really her show. Like, he was doing this for her. He was more cool with Melissa, even though she knew him and everything. But Melissa Ford and Floyd is real cool. Don't ask me if he hit it. That's what I'm saying. But
I heard a few people did, though.
He had this idea, and then this guy, he wants to do it and make the show. So he had the idea. So he just like, all right, well, fine, y'all run it. Here's the thing, Floyd don't really care what they do with it. Long as they got it going and stuff. So he ain't caring about salaries. Somebody ain't paying somebody. He just financed it. He produced it. Like, he ain't the one that's gonna sit there and pay everybody. That's somebody else's responsibility that's gonna handle that. He don't want it. Now, when the ratings get low and they come to Floyd for an interview, yeah. That's what they'll do. He'll break out exclusive stuff with them, because he'll get the money. He'll get whatever little money off of it that they can get. But I don't like that dude at all. So
me either.
Hey, C-No, who you think is harder to trade right now, Ben Simmons or Paul George?
Ben Simmons easier. He got outside.
It's harder to move. It depends. It's easy to move for the Sixers. It's easy to move Ben Simmons.
There you go, Paul George on my all-time soft list.
Yeah, but the thing about him is that Paul George is injury prone and he gets paid a lot of. So the thing is, and who you gonna trade him to? Because you gave up so much to get him. You gave up a lot of draft picks. You gave up a whole lot of stuff to be the Clippers. So replacing him with just another player. It's like, man, we need to get some picks. So they trying to get Bradley Beal. And that's what they secretly working on behind the scenes, trying to get Bradley Beal from Washington to come over. And this is what we was talking about before with the Supermax. And they tried to talk down on the max contracts, and then they made the Supermax to try to keep the players on the same team to keep them from jumping ship. And guys are still doing it, and they walking away from 50 and 60 million. So it's like now you got these overpaid players getting Supermax who are not really Supermax players. And now this has created a whole new problem. But I knew that when they first came out with Supermax. I was like, dude, you're going to have a bum getting all this money. Because I'm like, once you
Right.
saw
As soon as it started, it was like that.
yeah, you saw Luol Deng, you saw Maskoff, you saw all these dudes getting like 80 million. You're like, what
Tristan
the hell?
Thompson.
Right. Tristan Kardashian.
How about Porter from Washington?
Bro, I was high.
Right, dude averaging 5 points a game. Talking about some, he want his money. As soon as he out the league, that's gonna be his downfall. He up out of there.
But yeah, these second tier players be getting these massive contracts. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a problem. You know, like get Gordon Hayward. You know what I'm saying? He got 150 million or whatever it was he got. He's barely played a whole full season.
Exactly.
Man, I'm not paying nobody who let old Kobe Bryant drop 60 on him. I ain't paying nobody from that
team. But my question is, the reason why these second-tier players getting those contracts, is it because the NBA teams have to meet a minimum payroll? Like in the NFL, you have to meet a minimum payroll and a maximum payroll. And so is that the same way in the NBA?
No, because in the NFL, they don't have a salary cap.
NFL do got a salary cap, right?
NBA got salary cap. NFL, yeah.
NFL has a salary cap, but they have a hard salary cap. They got a hard salary cap where you cannot, under no circumstances, can you go over the salary cap. Right. NBA has a soft salary cap where you can go over and pay the luxury tax or whatever.
Right. I'm sleepy, but you know what I meant. Right. They have no. You can expand like as much as you want. LeBron has made his whole career of paying over the salary cap. He made the Cleveland Cavaliers owner pay over the cap, that luxury tax, because they get a luxury tax every time.
$1 billion, did he?
Right. That's like an extra $20-30 million. But he estimating what the owner is making off having LeBron on the team, from the team and the merchandising. He's like, look, you still coming up off us. So for this 4 years, you get to come up, but you're going to have to pay over the tax, that luxury tax. You're going to have to pay that. You're going to have to eat it. And he had to eat it. So that's how they was able to have those big, Major League Baseball. That's what I was thinking about. They don't have a cap.
They do salary sharing, though.
Right. They do a salary share thing. That's why those guys one guy getting $200 million. But see, that's when it's bad. You got a guy like Trout, Mike Trout getting all that money, and they ain't even winning. So now they trying to change the rules just to get Mike Trout into the playoffs. Man, we're gonna have wild cards, and
he didn't even make the playoffs.
12 teams in the playoffs.
Like, he's so good. It's like, man, he's so good. I'm like, that's baseball, baby. It's about teams. If your team ain't rocking, you're gonna be. There's a lot of great players ain't win. They ain't even get to the playoffs.
And you know that goes back to you know what I'm saying, kind of. And you had said this earlier, and I agree with it. You know what I'm saying, like a while back when talking about how the NBA promotes and with YouTube and all of that. It's like, they not paying attention to people that really watch the game and like the game. They focus more on people, on the niche fans. You know what I'm saying? People who are just watching and passing anyways. They ain't gonna sit there and watch no full game no ways. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. They just want to see the best plays of the game and go about their business. You know what I'm saying? But the people that support the NBA that really watch the games, you know what I'm saying? You're alienating them from the game. You know what I'm saying? With all this foolishness.
And that's Adam Silver's fault because he came from marketing. I'm like, he was there in 90. He came in the NBA in 92. He's in 1992. That little alien skinny mug was up in there, coming in there with his silver slippers, and on the marketing team, in there working with the NBA with Michael Jordan. So he saw what he became understudy to David Stern. So he shadowed David Stern for the last 3-4 years. He kept moving up because he was good with the marketing ideas, but he saw how it worked. I was like there watching it work, and it was magic. Michael Jordan was the protagonist. He was the superstar. Everybody else was the antagonist. Then they were the anti-heroes. And it was a story.
Space Jam.
Right. It was basically Space Jam. That's how the NBA was set up. Patrick Ewing and the no good Knicks trying to stop Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Like they was America's team, basketball team.
Yeah.
They were the good guys, no matter what. And everybody else was just bad because they wanted to beat them. But that's how the storylines were. And they showed it. The Pistons, they evil. The Indiana Pacers, they evil. They want to stop Michael Jordan. I'm like, that's their job. They play for the team. But that's how when you got people bought in like that, it sells. Like my mom is a prime example. My mom don't watch the NBA no more. She can't tell you who's in the league except for LeBron. She say LeBron, but my mom can tell you about every player that was back then. She didn't watch the games then. You know, Charles Barkley, Clyde Drexler, she can name all these players. And she know them only because they knew how to market them. And I was like, because NBA was about, we gonna market Michael, of course, but we gonna use Michael and mix with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? We gonna bring them up. And that's how you got the Knicks and Pacers rivalry. They knew how to promote that. They didn't put LeBron in the middle of it. They just knew the Knicks and Pacers, they got beat. We could promote this right here.
Right.
And you know, rivalry. There was games, the Sixers and Knicks. Man, when the Sixers won the Atlantic Division that year in '90 and took it from the Knicks, that was the toughest Sixers team, the Hawkins and Dawkins. I was like, yeah, they was ready. I'm like, them boys was ready then. Charles Barkley played the best season he ever had in his career. And I was like, they got put out by the Bulls that year. And I was so happy. Because I didn't want to go up against them. But they had Rick Mahorn, thump and bump. Thump and bump, baby.
Yep. Don't forget about Knicks and Heat rivalry. You know what I'm saying? That was a huge rivalry in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Knicks and Heat. But see, they came out with them, and the Heat came in 1990. See, that's what killed that started to deteriorate the NBA when they started coming out with the expansion. They was expanding too fast. They just brought in the Miami and they brought in Orlando.
Yeah,
1990, and then after that, they
how about T-Wolves? They brought in T-Wolves too.
They did the T-Wolves in '89. I think.
Yep, they did.
Vancouver.
Yep, Toronto and Vancouver came in like 90. Was it 94? 94,
94, 95.
Yeah, cause I remember Dan Steinmeier refused to go to Vancouver.
You know, and that's how the Pistons lost. That's how the Pistons lost Rick Mahorn. They left him.
He was unprotected.
They left him unprotected in the expansion draft, and they lost him to Philadelphia.
Yeah, they tried to offer draft picks and everything else for him and everything because they wanted to keep Rick, but they knew it was between Rick or Mark Aguirre, and they wasn't going to lose Mark Aguirre. And they was like, man, they could have lost Mark, and we could have kept Rick. Man, Rick was the soul of the team. But the real reason why they made that decision and chose Rick over Mark, no, it was actually John Sally. They was like, it was John Sally, Mark Aguirre, or Mahorn. And they was like, man, y'all could have let Sally go. And I'm like, no, we kind of need Sal on defense too. But I was like, the thing about it, the reason why is Rick in '89, his back was going out. And they didn't know because it was always a struggle for Rick to keep his weight down. Yeah. You know, and he had bad back problems because of it. You know, when he was like Shaq, he had used the season to get in shape. And then Rick couldn't really dunk no more. His back was spazzed up.
Yeah, you just go out there, lay the wood, Rick. Just lay the wood.
Right, but we needed that, and he wanted to be back
Yeah.
independent. And with Rick, we lost something. You know what I'm saying? So we lost something in 90. We still won it, but we lost that intimidation. People weren't scared no more like they used to be.
Yeah, because y'all had goons in the NBA back then, just like hockey.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of teams used to have goons, like even the Indiana Pacers. They had the Davis boys. They was goons. You know what I'm saying? Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason were goons for the Knicks. And like even for
they were goons, they could play. You know what I'm saying? They could play.
Yeah, X-Man could ball. He wasn't just a goon.
X-Man could ball. Mason could ball. You know what I'm saying? The Davis boys could ball. And Antonio Davis and Dale Davis, both of them could ball.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, they was, but you had some enforcers too. Some guys that they was just on the, like, when it was Tree Rollins time, when you bring in Tree Rollins had to lay somebody out. He ain't there to try to score in the post and run a move. Not at that time. Tree was like, they had him on there just for that.
Oh, you thought the Atlanta Hawks Tree Rollins.
Yeah.
Atlanta Hawks, Orlando Magic's Tree Rollins, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's Tree Rollins time. Oh, superstar want to stay in the game? And we down 20 and y'all gonna try to get in there and get him some more points? He said he's gonna run it up on us, huh? All right, Tree Rollins. Tree, yeah, you're up.
It's so funny. Tree Rollins supposed to be in Shaq before Shaq became Shaq, because Tree Rollins was at supposed to be Shaq before Shaq became Shaq, but Tree Rollins ain't have Shaq kind of work ethic and skill set.
No, he didn't.
But that supposed to be Shaq.
I never heard of him.
I mean,
but Tree was just Tree, man. He one of them old school 70s type dudes, man. One of them big smooths, big smooth guy, But
he was always about laying the wood,
Right. By the time he got to Orlando, man, he was out there coaching players, because he know the game. But back then, Tree was old school, man. You ain't finna be up no 20 and letting somebody come down in the lane. Tree came in for less than 6 minutes and had 6 fouls in like 2 minutes. He fouled out. They brought him in with like 5 minutes to go in the game, man. And he fouled out with 6 fouls. He was playing the wood, man. They came down the lane trying to score some fun baskets, trying to run them. I was like, LeBron would have been sitting over there coming in the game with a 30-point lead. He's still out there. I'm like, man, not in that era. Not in no 90s.
Oh, no, hell no.
He's been over there.
Man, if you was out there trying to hot dog, look, I remember this is a story about Vernon Maxwell, man. Like Mike, and he should have had this in The Last Dance. But Mike tried to embarrass Vernon Maxwell one game, and Maxwell went after him. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't just be hot dogging in the NBA, running up the score. You gonna pay for it.
Oh yeah.
But Jordan and Vernon Maxwell, that was personal. They had a personal beef behind that. People don't know about that. They had a huge beef behind. That's why they used to always go at each other like that. That was like a personal beef. But the NBA was great back then, and that's why, like, even the 8th seed back then was, you had like the Cleveland Cavaliers was an 8th seed there, and they won like 47 games, and that was Larry Nance and Mark Price and what I'm saying, Brad Daugherty. These three All-Stars I just named. Now the 8th seed is under now the 8th seed today is like they 10 games under 500 and smashing roster.
Like some LeBron fan gonna come out, man. Now I got Deontay Wilder fans coming after me, but now it's LeBron fans coming out. LeBron fans gonna talk about Jordan was going up against Craig Elo and all that in his career. He ain't had nobody checking him. I was like, man, that's the kind of nonsense I got to deal with.
Like you said, highlights. They looking at highlights.
I'm like, your man just got shut down by Duncan Robinson, man.
Hey, JJ Barea.
Right. You got Duncan Robinson. This man is probably a UCA YMCA basketball coach. So Duncan Robinson, they just brought him in. I'm like, he in there locking you down. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what a great Hall of Fame two guards was playing out there.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Those teams were deep back then. Like,
right. You had even Ron Harper, Cleveland Ron Harper. You had
Cleveland Ron Harper was a beast.
You know, like Mike was just battling two guards. He had to battle 4-5. When he
Reggie Miller,
right? Ain't no open lane. I'm like, that's what's missing out. You don't see nobody getting three guys getting on no more. You know, it's like, man, that excitement been robbed from you now because now they declared because they got to make it easier for LeBron to score. Now you tampered the game and ruined it. There's no power forwards no more. There's no centers. So ain't nobody for him to check except for what, a point guard. He dunking on Steph Curry and he flexing. Oh, no.
I think that game. I think it changed in 2004 when the European basketball was really coming up, and that's when the NBA tried to market their game after them, and that's why they took away the hand check and everything else, and that's why I don't like about the NBA. It got soft. No, like that's why there's no pure centers no more.
A business move. What happened was Larry Bird pointed it out because the ratings was dropping for certain games, and they couldn't figure out why it was going on. And Larry Bird is like, because what's happening, the draft was like, it was like no white dudes getting drafted. Well, no white guys like from any college team except for the Chicago Bulls. They was defining. I mean, one of them was like Hurley. I mean, wasn't Heinrich? Kirk Heinrich. He was right. Taking in the draft.
It's Kirk Heinrich.
Kirk Heinrich. But the thing was, Larry Bird had made a mistake and actually in the interview pointed it out and was very blunt. And David Stern had to go and correct Larry Bird because he knew that, like, man, you can't say it like that, Larry. That's the truth, but you don't
like
say
what?
that.
Ain't nobody cared about a white boy since me.
Right. They asked him, like, what do you think? Well, I think it's just you need a couple of white guys out there. He's like, you know, kind of lift it up a little bit. You know, white people need somebody to root for. You know, when they come to the games, you know, and see somebody out there. I think we need to get back to having a couple of white guys run around out there. And that's all they ran with. Ray Bird says the NBA needs white guys. More white guys, man. And they asked David Stern. He was, no, Larry's wrong. We select the best player, no matter of color, for the position and for the team. Yeah, if we have more Caucasian guys out there, and there's some talented ones out there. They're coming in. They're going to come in the league someday, but we won't choose them just because they're white. No, so Larry's wrong on that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Larry had a good talking to after that. But that's what the move was, to bring in more of these European players because they already was trying that when they brought in Drazen Petrovic and Shapronis Marshall-Lernis. I don't know.
Man.
Sabonis.
Sabonis came in.
He got Sabonis at the end of his career.
Right. Yeah. Imagine having a young Sabonis.
Ooh.
Marcel Cialonis died. That was a cold white boy.
Marshall Lonis.
He was the European Curry, Dad. Back in the 90s.
He played more like Manu though. Than him because he was physical.
He could shoot.
Yeah.
Pekovic had defense too. People fail to forget that. He had great defense. Pekovic did.
Right, and Drazen Petrovic, man. And I was like, man, he came into the game and Portland didn't use him right. He played against us, the Pistons, in the 90s finals. And they didn't use him properly. And then he finally got to Jersey and he was able to shine.
John Calipari got the best out of him, right? John Calipari,
Yep. They did have Steve Nash. That's probably why they gave him back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's why he got it.
You know it.
Kobe. They could not give it to Kobe.
I think 1 year they robbed Shaq. That was the 2004 season, right?
No.
2005 season when they gave the
they couldn't give it to Kobe because of the rape case. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. 2006, and because he was an eighth seed too. Even though they gave it to Russell Westbrook when he was an eighth seed,
right. That was just something they just throw out there. That don't mean nothing, man.
They should have gave it to Kobe. Kobe averaged 35, man. He was killing.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what's the real? the number one season Kobe was robbed with MVP was that Achilles season, man. That's really under the radar. People don't know, man. He averaged like 27, 6 and 7, and he really like put his body on the line that season just to make it to the
he was
playoffs.
playing like 45 minutes.
48, right. Sticking the best defender. He
Yep.
averaged like 40, 42 in the month of April or something like that. And he was like, what, 30, 35 or something? I don't know.
Yeah, he was wearing his shoulder to the ground, man, trying to make the playoffs one more time. He wanted to make the playoffs one more time before.
And this was after they vetoed his trade. Like,
yep.
You veto his trade and you try to, cheat him, and he still go out there and ball.
Yeah, that was Mike D'Antoni ruined Kobe Bryant with that run the gun system. You can't put that type of mileage on him at that age.
Yeah, I mean,
that.
Kobe could do what he wanted to do. So that was Kobe didn't do the running gun all the time, and he couldn't run that system with Kobe. He tried to when he got Nash, but Nash was done at that point. Like in Nash, people don't even understand that people thought Kobe and Dwight Howard had. It wasn't Kobe and Dwight Howard. It was Nash and Dwight Howard. Nash hated Dwight Howard's guts. Them two, they in the locker room about to fight. They about to fight in practice. Almost every practice, Kobe didn't have to do nothing because he was like, "Well, Nash just said it." I ain't got to say nothing. He was forcing him out in the games. Nash was going all for Dwight Howard. Like, man, what the hell wrong with you, man? Get down there, like.
Yeah, Nash ain't scared to tell him how he feel.
He was like, "Thank you. I don't have to talk." Because now Nash doing all the talking. Because that's why I'm like, man, everybody's like, keep promoting the Kobe thing. I'm like, Kobe wasn't really the one. It was Nash the whole time. Nash did not like him at all.
All Kobe was trying to tell him, like, hey, like, you're going to have to toughen up if you're going to be in L.A. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Orlando.
Because Nash had just got done playing with Amari, and Amari, he coming with it, so with somebody like Dwight, that was a little different for him.
Plus, the White wanted Phil Jackson at the time, and Nash wanted Daytona, and that was the power play as well. That's why,
they should have had CP3. I don't know why David Stern did that trade.
Yeah, but you know what also BS. Also BS. You know what would have happened. You knew what would have happened.
Yeah, he was going to go back.
Nah, that was right after the decision. What's it called? Dan Gilbert nixed that trade.
Yeah,
Dan Gilbert wrote that letter to all the owners. That's what happened. It was right after the decision. If that decision wouldn't have happened, that trade would have went through with no question.
And that's because Dan Gilbert was mad that he didn't have LeBron.
Yeah, that was soft.
That was right after the decision, like that same season.
So it's like because Dan Gilbert like, we can't keep letting these players do that.
Yeah, David Stern. The thing is, the NBA owns the
Hornets.
Yeah.
The NBA owned them because of what had happened and everything. They had went bankrupt.
With Katrina.
So they was they had no owner. So that's the only reason the trade didn't go down. They didn't have an owner. The NBA was the owners. They owned. They were trying to find a new owner for the team, and then Chris Paul was about to be traded. They needed Chris Paul to be on the team. They were like, no, they could do another trade. The trade was already done. Now you've done remarkable damage and reputable damage to the team. Lamar Odom was never the same after that.
Yeah, that's true.
He felt so disrespected,
and he just he was checked out because he was 6th man of the year at the time.
Right, and he was just crushed that they would want to trade him.
Right,
he was really crushed. And
Kyle Gasol left the next year.
Yeah,
and Bynum
the next year because the thing was he had to go because Shannon Brown was banging his girl, and then that's the
I remember that.
Right.
I ain't know that.
When Kobe did the Black Swan thing, he was talking about that, but he couldn't really say what he wanted to say.
All seeing his fiance and all of this is going on.
She's bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the truth behind. I think I get that video on here. Yeah.
That's why Kobe did that Black Swan reference. But he couldn't say what he wanted to say, but that what really happened, and Paul Gasol just checked out. And with
Man,
Lamar
they
Odom,
like it was so bad. They were actually talking about it during the game. Like, look at his
Yeah.
face. Like,
Like
dang,
everybody
dang, like,
knew. Yeah, everybody
yeah.
like, dog, how you playing with somebody that's tapping your girl? And it wasn't, the thing about it is when he brought it up to him, he didn't stop.
Hey
He
man,
was
that's
still
low
hitting
down,
the
man.
chick. I
That's
mean, he
low
was still
down.
hitting the girl and he was still with her. And I'm
That's
like,
low
dog,
down.
you gonna break up with her, then go back with her, and she's still getting
You
it.
you a superstar, not a superstar, but you a star on the championship team. You a millionaire. Why you gotta bang your teammate wife or fiance? That's whack.
That's why
Right.
Shannon Brown got moved, man. I mean, they was trying to, like, man, he got the upside. He gonna do all this. He would come in, get these dunks. But Shannon Brown was like, man, these all rules. Man, they was like, dog, come on, man. This
nah,
white
but they
girl,
ain't nothing. How
Yeah,
about
that
how
was
this
about
whack.
white girl can't keep herself. She can't keep herself, calm. He was putting it on her, man. He was knocking it down. So
She was bad. She was bad. You know.
yeah, man.
Couldn't believe it, man.
Kyle from overseas, he's like, hey, man, you thinking this ain't supposed to go down like this?
yeah. But they ain't nothing. How about
Right.
Richardson child being Steve Nash's child that was born?
Oh yeah, they tried to cover
They
all
found that in birth.
You
that.
say what?
What?
Steve Nash wife was banging
I did
Richardson
that
off of
video too.
Phoenix. And when they ain't find out that the child was born, they said this baby look a little chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, he
Oh
did tell her like,
no!
And that's how they found out. That's how they found out. And Richardson got blackballed
Oh
from the
man.
kid. He got blackballed.
Oh,
Oh man.
They said this baby a little chocolate. This
Out of,
ain't yours.
they had a out of pappy moment.
Yeah, that's why Richardson
oh
got blackballed
man.
after that.
Damn.
yeah, I mean, that hurt his whole credibility. But the
Yeah.
thing is that he wasn't the only one, man. Barbosa, she's from Brazil, so his wife is from Brazil. So Barbosa was the one that was really the one tapped that. That was the one that was the closest one. So Barbosa was the one that was tearing it up. And
Yeah.
it wasn't Jay Rich.
Oh,
Jay Rich did it too, but I mean the baby wasn't his. It's
oh, okay.
So
And then
everybody like Barbosa kid.
they accused him first, 'cause they said this thing was a little bit chocolate. This ain't.
Yeah,
You know,
he broke up with her the moment she had the baby. Nash got rid of her, and then they got back together. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Yeah, I did True
Crazy.
Fan all that, man. It's all them. I did. It's like it's in the sports beat category. That
yeah,
playlist. I had to make playlists for them, man.
yeah, because
Now I
just
got
like
now I
how
got the
about
Patreon.
how
Now on the
about
Patreon, I got the Tupac and John Penn situation. Nobody knew about that. Very few people knew about
Tony Parker and John Barry wife and Eva Longoria
Oh yeah,
and they
John,
were swapping each
you know
other
I
and
did.
that got public.
I did all
Yeah, that
that.
was messy as shit.
Yeah, man. They be getting down behind the scenes in the NBA with these sex parties and swingers and all that. Man, people don't be knowing. That's why what's it called? Doug Christie